Hello?
All right, folks.
Hey, let me know when you're here. I'll just buzz you in.
How do we already have comments in here? Welcome into the street.
It's 6:01, but I'll buzz you.
Folks, welcome into the holy hair going on right here. Welcome into hockey. Actually, you want to kick us off?
Folks, sorry about that. I just took a order from Uber Eats. I was trying to get my pregame meal in. It showed up a little late, but we are live from Hockey Night in Canada here in Scottsdale, which is Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Folks, Toronto, Ontario versus the Ottawa Senators. The Battle of Ontario going on right now. We're at the 17-minute marker in 24 seconds and counting. Joined as always by Bob Gucci. I am Jay Swish from 93.1 The Fella. Folks, how the hell you living out there? Gucci, good to see you, baby.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to see the Battle of Ontario going on after kind of only dealing with the Battle of Alberta going on. But this is a good matchup. I mean, two teams. Toronto's trying to get back on track and string together 2 wins. Matthews is hot as hell. He's trying to stay hot. And as for the Sens, who knows? I mean, hopefully Gary doesn't take a pick away from them tonight.
No kidding. And it looks like the Ottawa Senators are going to the power play. Matty Nyes with a little bit of an interference penalty right on the blue line there. So Ottawa with an early power play. They are a struggling team. They're giving up picks. Their owner's calling out Bettman. Coaches getting booed. This team really needs a desperate win tonight in the Mecca of hockey, a.k.a. the 6 in Toronto, Ontario, live from Scotiabank Arena. Claude Giroux in the face-off here as they go to the power play.
If you're following along here, we are at the 17-13-minute mark. The puck just dropped. And chat, can we get a sound check here to make sure we sound good?
How do the fellas sound? And as Ottawa goes to the power play, TJ Brody battling in the corner as they are trying to work the end wall there. Giordano out there, steady Eddie defenseman. Mitchie Marner sends it 200 feet. And I believe that is Jake Chikrin, a.k.a. Chicky Parm, going back for the puck as he rounds the net and makes his way to the blue line, running the standard drop breakout to Claude Giroux.
How about Giordano just being 65-year-old? I mean, this guy qualifies for discounts at the grocery store with being a senior citizen. He's still logging a decent amount of minutes a night. It would be nice to see him have a chance to win a cup. I don't think he's won one, right?
He's not won a mug. He's won a Norris Trophy. He's a guy that actually, right out of the American Hockey League, spent time in Russia, came back to Calgary, ended up winning a Norris, and I believe he lives in a over 55 club apartment in downtown Toronto because he is that fucking old and he's still getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to being old. It happens to all of us. But, yeah, just the fact that he's still out there on the PK, just standing in front of these shots. If the Senators can stay in the zone for more than 2 seconds, he would have to block shots. But right now, unfortunately, they're going to regroup in their own zone. And
I listened to a podcast this week. I don't know if it was Elliot Friedman or maybe the boys from Missing Curfew. Shout out to those guys. They gave us a nice shout out today. But they were talking about, I believe it was an interview with Brady Tkachuk talking about Jake Sanderson. And this guy, he's a North Dakota guy. Obviously, that's where I went to school. He's a guy that I think is one of the more underrated young players in the league as he carries the puck all the way up the ice here, lugging the mail. Just the early, kind of in-season look at him. I think he's been really good on a struggling team because this guy can really massage it. Oh my God.
Dude, Wall has been nice ever since he came in the other night. But, yeah, I agree. You know what? It's easy to be like, when he got his money, even me, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I know, because I was
jamming home, but yeah, I mean,
he got an absolute bag, and I mean, rightfully so. But it was a very small sample size, and they clearly knew something we didn't, and that goes to show you. I mean, that Pierre Dorian, even though he got canned and fired, like, talk about a great contract he signed. I mean, Josh Norris, Brady Tkachuk, getting Sanderson locked in, Chabot, all these guys, their young core is locked in. And I think they're going to be a good team once they can kind of figure it out.
Yeah, they need to figure it out. It would be nice to have a competitive battle of Ontario every now and then. I love these battles. Just both fan bases are so passionate. The chicks are so much cooler in Canada, too. That has nothing to do with the scenario at all. But it's good to see Canadian teams battle it out, especially, they have Gary Bettman just making sure they don't bring the cup back to Canada. And that also, off topic here, but that's probably the reason why Quebec City doesn't have a team. I mean, why? The game's already grown there. It's so popular there. Like, why bring a team to Quebec City? But anyway,
as they go over to John Klingberg, and yeah, I just think I don't know. It'd be nice to see a Canadian team, especially like Ottawa, who's been struggling for a bit now. They had to trade Carlson out of there. They had the Uber driver incident. Rob, I know you're always getting in fight with Uber drivers. I just think, it would be nice for them to kind of round the hump here and get over that, because they do have a young core that I think can win. And as Nylander, oh my God, is this guy
he's so good.
Willie Styles.
Every stream, I'm just rock hard. This guy is so fun to watch. You know what? I almost forgot about that incident with the Uber driver and the Senators. I actually know one of the guys that was in the car. I'm sure you do too. And you know what I think? We should find that Uber driver. We should say, hey, do you want to join our live stream? And when he gets here, let's just beat his ass in the parking lot.
Just beat the wheels off him.
A little assault for the fella. But
there's no way he has a fight strap on. I mean, you could jersey that guy in a second. But what an absolute sewer that was, because a couple of those guys, I mean, one guy in particular, I'm not going to name his name, but he literally had to go over to the Continental Hockey League in Russia, win the D-Man of the year, to only get a chance to come back. I mean, that was insane how bad they got sewered, because that's locker room talk. You're always just chirping your bosses, right?
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that the Uber driver took initiative to Jay Switch is going to step outside here with a very important Uber Eats call on the way. He's going on a very important fishing trip. Charles on the power play. Oh, William Nylander upstairs where Grandpa hides the Nazi propaganda. That was an absolute titty tuck. Hamonic just got in the box. He's still stuck in wind from his last shift, and he'll be exiting the box shortly as Nylander just absolutely goes North Beach, Miami, fake titties all the way upstairs.
Oh, my God. Was that a little tickle on the post and in? Sorry, folks. I had to step out to get my grass-fed burger, but oh, my shot. Talk about a burger. Stuffing it in the top corner. I mean, that's 8-ball corner pocket there, Rob. That's as good as it gets.
That is an absolute 2 pizzas for $8.99 from Domino's. The doorbell's ringing. The pizza's guy here. Speaking of that, actually, me and my buddies one time, we ordered a pizza and we made the guy come inside to the party and take Jaeger bombs with us. And guess what? He drove home.
Yeah, well, yeah, rightfully so. I mean, why wouldn't he, right? He's a pizza guy. They're not going to pull him over if he's drunk. He's got the sign on top of his car.
You have someone knocking at the door.
Yeah, I think that's that guy. I'm just going to leave him there. Folks, thank you for the burger. Shout out to True Food Kitchen. You only showed up 2 hours late. As we are rounding the 14-minute marker in the first period here, Morgan Riley back over to the human clock killer, TJ Brody, and he brings it over the line. Early lead for the Leafs. What a shot by Willie Styles. Bill Nylander. My God, is that sexy. I mean, if Ottawa doesn't at least have a push tonight, Rob, maybe a fight, maybe an emotional, some sort of, I think they have to win this game. But if they don't even show a little pushback, I mean, you got to think, is DJ Smith on the hot seat? I don't want to see you guys get fired, but in the month of November, his last 3 years, he's 5-22-1. That ain't perfect.
Yeah, I mean, what's got to give for the Senators? And I was just going back and forth on Twitter with people about this the other day. Like, now, when it comes to Edmonton, they're kind of in the same boat. It's just like, guys, when are we going to be good again? When are we going to be a contender? Like, I'm tired of waiting. And you know what? I don't blame them. Like, if you got to start firing coaches every other month, do it. Like, you have the core, you have the guys that you got from high draft picks, etc. Fucking do something. So yeah, I would say DJ Smith is kind of on the hot seat right now. Just like the fans need it. Fans need a win.
Yeah, and it's not so much about the coach. It's just sometimes the voice gets a little stale in the room. And I know Claude Giroux backed him up the other day and said, no, this is our coach. He's going to be here, so fuck the noise. And I love that from a veteran player. But sometimes you need a little bit of a shakeup. And I just think, if they continue down this route, you kind of give your team – you give them no choice, because you can't fire every player, right? The coach, as sad as it sounds, the coach comes first, and then maybe a big trade, but it's hard to fire every single player where the coach is kind of the scapegoat, and it's like, holy fuck, boys, we better wake up because we just lost this guy his job.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that it's early in the year, but when you have a guy like Tarasenko coming in, and he's kind of older, that's when you have a good mix of young guys and old. Holy shit.
And just like that, as we were chirping them, they answer. It always happens
every
here
time.
Over at Hockey Night in Scottsdale. The boys give a little chirp, and just like that, Dominic Kubalik is on the board. That's a sneaky pickup that needs to get going a little bit. A guy that came over from Detroit.
He had fucking 30 goals in Chicago.
Yeah, he did. He was a great player. I think he's a 20-goal guy, good German player. Nice little tip in here. Or was it just a straight in? Straight in.
What the fuck? Just as I said, Wall's having a night.
Did that not get tipped?
No, it just went off.
It's off the
gotta get that pad down, fella.
Off the old toe cop. Did you see that? They just showed that William Nylander with a 13-game point streak. I have no idea, fella. You're all good, folks. The Uber Eats driver will not leave. Maybe he wants to come in and we can give him a whiskey shot.
Yeah, that'll be. Someone said my mic is low. All right, let me fix that. Thank you for pointing
Turn
that
it up.
out. What about now?
Folks, give him a mic check. Yeah, but William Nylander, 13-game point streak. That's a baker's dozen, Rob. I mean, this ain't no picnic, bitch. Like that's a nice little streak for Wild Bill there, and especially on a team that's kind of struggling, he's pulling his Dougie weight.
Yeah, definitely. Has that guy been standing there? I know you don't care, but I'm just like,
yeah, I don't know. Should I go check?
Yeah.
All right, folks,
blast down the door. All right, yeah. Thank you for the chat doing that. Yeah, like I've been standing there the whole time.
Well, sorry. Appreciate it. Sorry, on the street.
What an absolute trooper. That guy was standing there for like 10 minutes.
Absolute gun. He just stood there for the whole pregame warm-up and the first.
All right, folks. Let's get that. Yeah, like you're saying. Oh, yeah.
That guy was really just standing there and holding it the whole time. What was he doing?
Do you have your settings? Like, you drop it at the door or no?
No, I usually just have it. Just come as you are. Leave it there, fellow. You can. I mean, if you want to come in and have one.
He was there. He was there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I was saying, when you have a mix like of vets and the young guys, it's like there's no excuses. The time is now. So I feel for Senators fans too, especially because Gary's taking a pick away from them every single day. It seems like.
I know. It's just. I mean, you don't want to compare apples to apples, but how does a situation like that go on in Chicago and they get nothing but a fine?
What happened in Chicago? Just kidding. Nothing to laugh about.
It's still going on, but how do they only get a fine? Obviously, because they're one of Gary's favorites. They're an original 6 team. And the Senators, I mean, Pierre Dorian forgets that Datnoff has a little bit of a no trade clause, and they end up taking away a first-round pick. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Again, we're not comparing apples to apples here, but holy slip play by Klingberg. That could have been hot and ready.
I want to reiterate, I wasn't laughing at the situation in Chicago. I was laughing of the fact that I was pretending like I didn't know what happened. So I just want to, for everyone that's going to clip that, I don't think we're at the level where people are clipping stuff, but that's not what I meant. Do not take that out of context.
Isn't that crazy though?
Please.
Like, if we don't have to get too much into it, but I mean, how do these guys get a picks taken from them? And it's crazy, but
Pinto, 41 games, dude. What?
Yeah,
you murder someone?
Parlay Pinto gets 41 games. I mean, come on, a good North Dakota boy. Like, what was he really doing? But anyways, as we go back to the game, we're at the halfway marker of the first frame here. 1-1, a great game here in the mecca of hockey, live from Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. As who's this? That Benoit kid came over from Anaheim, number 2. Yep, because Jake McCabe is hurt.
Yeah.
Geez, he was struggling a little bit there. He was kind of beating that thing up into a square, that puck. But folks, anyways, we're live here from Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Tarasenko, that's a nice little pickup. I wonder if he can get going a little bit. I know he had a good start to the year, but they've kind of tailed off here in Ottawa. So, man, Ottawa just needs to get going. Otherwise, that, as you know, Rob, north of the border, that could be a long winter, right? I mean, Kachuk, I love that, just his leadership, his balls he seems like he has. He's really the face of that franchise, and I think he's a guy that doesn't really give a fuck, and he's going to stick his chin out there.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, he was complaining about the fans, and I'm on both sides here. Like, I like the fact that he was defending his coach, but I also understand from the fans that they're fed up. And we're going to take it to the comments, people. Where are you taking in from? Questions, comments, concerns, rants. Did your bird cheat on you? You can tell us whatever you want, and we will answer it. If we have the time, if time permits, I just spit all over my microphone.
Right. Yep. Get that thing nice and lubed up, Rob. We're going to have a night here.
Yeah, we'll take it to the comments for the commercial break. If you're new here, that's what we do. To comment on the show, join on Twitch or YouTube, and you're able to comment. Elon Musk still hasn't allowed me to unlock the comments on Twitter. So yeah, where is everybody checking in from?
Can I get the comments going on Twitch here too? What is it? That Heat Daddy? Twitch at Heat Daddy or whatever?
Oh, it shows up there.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, there's all YouTube heavy right now. Like, see the purple ones?
Yeah.
Twitch.
Purple rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, folks, get at us, chirp at us. Where are we watching from? Where are we drinking at? If you're not drinking tonight, well, it is Wednesday. That is hump day. You could have a couple of Chardonnays and get away with it because it is the midweek special over here at Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Ask Bob Gucci anything. Chirp at us. Get at me. Whatever you want, baby.
Yeah, and tomorrow we will have Paul Bissonnette in the house on this very couch for the belligerent bowl of the San Jose Sharks and the Edmonton Oilers. Excuse me, Jose Sharks and the Edmonton Oilers. He's going to be in the house tomorrow night. That's going to be a hell of a stream. And also, we're back to the game, so we will get to the comments. We didn't really get any. We'll get
Happening in from Chicago. I love that, brother. Where you at in the West Loop? Where are you watching from? Are you on River North? Are you in West Town? Where are you at, baby? Maybe Old Town, maybe Lincoln Park as we watch Willie Nylander go connector barn in. But yes, Rob, tomorrow night we have the one and only You Can't Clone Me, Paul Bissonnette from TNT. He is live on TNT tonight, participating in a back-to-back, and then coming into Scottsdale tomorrow to check in on this very couch to wrap up his 3-3. And yes, he will be a part of Hockey Night in Scottsdale. I can't wait to get him on. It's going to be obviously great to see him get his expertise and just kind of bullshit. So that's what we do, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a time. Like, who would have thought that, like, the third or fourth week into Hockey Night in Scottsdale, we're getting such a juggernaut of a guest like Biz. And look, at the end of the day, we're just three guys in Arizona watching some hockey, not talking to any chicks and just having the time of our life. But I'll tell you one thing, Swish, I may be tipping back, Dave Tippeting back the bottle tomorrow night.
Dave Tippett, what are you going to get on tomorrow? A little whiskey, or what are you going to want? You know, it's a later start, Heat Daddy. We got 8:30 here, Mountain Standard. So you got to be low and slow because one could get away from you, right? You can't start at 2 p.m. at Moxie's, maybe a 2:30 start.
Yeah, two and a hook. Yeah, no. I think I'll probably have my first cocktail around just right before the stream. I don't want to get too loaded. Tomorrow's going to be great. But,
right. All jacked up on Mountain Dew.
How much is Biz charging to come on? Absolutely $0 USD /CAN.
Yep, just joining the boys out of the goodness of his heart. I mean, he is a dear friend of the show over here. Obviously a Scottsdale resident when he's around. But as we go back to the game here, folks, 9 minutes and counting. Toronto has the puck in the offensive zone as it goes back down to Joseph Wall, who plays it over to Giordano. Giordano takes a look, brings it back, massages it, and he's going to go D to D. No, he looked off Morgan Riley. He said, I want a Norris. Thank you very little. Man, I would love to see 34 get one here in the first period just to secure that A-Mats anytime score right away, Rob. You know, get in that first frame. You know, I got the farm on it tonight, so stay hot, Poppy. He's got 13 goals in 12 games as Marner massages it.
Yeah, you know, it's good. You know what I love about when Matthew scores is his celebrations. Like, he really fires up the fucking crowd. You see him the other night going like, like, I love that shit. You're in the mecca of hockey. You're in Toronto. You score. You fire up the crowd. And as anyone may know, that lower bowl in Toronto is a little bit sleepy sometimes. So it's good when 34 scores and gets the crowd going. It's all part of that's hockey, baby. And yeah, it's all part of having a good time. Look at Toronto.
Having a couple chilly ones to 6, baby. Lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree. But yeah, speaking on that, Rob, I was talking to Anna Dua. I had her on our podcast, Live in 5, the other night. Interviewed her. She was a great interview gal from the NHL Network. But she was even saying, I was asking her because she's a Toronto native originally, now lives in New York City. But she was saying that lower bowl in Toronto, it's like a sushi club. You know, it's kind of just like people hanging out in suits and eating sushi. I'm like, well, I mean, come on. Like, we need like the diehards down there. And that's nothing to do with, you know, having a little bit of crispy rice, spicy tuna, but we need the diehards down there. I mean, that first hat trick that Matthews had, no one was even throwing hats. Like the first one, these guys has 3 in 12 games, but you know, it took to the second or third one to really people to pop off. I mean, we had a nice bra out there that looked like a good set, but still, like, just that lower bowl, man, you'd like to see a little bit more energy up there.
Yeah, I was actually in a game in Toronto, and I got told by a person who's familiar with the building that I need to behave. And I understand why they told me that, because I'll have a couple drinks, I'll be a little loud, you know. But they told me that if I act out of control, I'm really going to stand out, which I usually don't care. But that just goes to show that lower bowl is a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit sleepy.
It's a little sleepy Joe.
Morning. And, but yeah, I think her, what's her first name? Anna?
Yeah, Anna Dua. Yep.
For Anna Dua, you know, she's boots on the ground.
She is boots on the ground.
I completely agree with her, and I've only been there once, but.
Yeah, it just seems like for whatever reason, it's a little, you know, sleepy Joe. They might go Tylenol PM before the game. It's like you need those loud and proud fans. But I guess if you're charging $1,000 a seat, it's probably all corporate, right? Because what average Canadian fan can really afford that? I mean, shit, we'd have to mortgage our goddamn, you know, everything. We'd have to sell our car to get one seat. So
yeah, definitely. I see the comments. We'll get to them next commercial break as a couple flooded in. But yeah, man, I mean, hockey's expensive, dude, and it's like when people say listen, I'll say this. if I had a family and kids, taking them to the game is fucking insane.
Oh.
It is so expensive. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an economist, but it's absolutely crazy. Like
to take the family to a game. I mean, you're all in for a couple grand. I mean, that's not even,
100%.
that's not even supporting your beers because you're going to have 12 and then you can't drive, obviously. So you got to either call an Uber and make your wife drive. Now she's pissed off at you. It's just,
then you got to go. Then you got to go to the parking lot and pay a lot lizard just to hit it from the back. It's just a hell of a night.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well go on a 4-night, 3-night, 4-night, 3-night vacation in Florida or something, right? And get them, go down to Fort Lickerdale or something. I don't know, because that just seems crazy to me.
All right, folks, we got 7:45 remaining. If you're watching with us in the chat, let us know if you're watching the game with us. That's the whole idea here. Now, you can watch if you're not watching with us, but 7:36, 7:35 left. Oh, there's a sneaky little shot as Tavares.
Yeah, not a bad little shot tip there from Bertuzzi to Tavares. And, Leaf fans or even people just in Canada were kind of chiming in terms of, that Brad Marchand and Liljegren situation there. I know Marchand's dirty. I know people hate him up north, but I don't think he was intentionally doing that. But they were saying, guys like Tavares and Bertuzzi, like they got to go in there and show more emotion and back them up. And it is what it is, Rob. And their coach kind of called him out too. But I mean, if you're expecting a guy like John Tavares, who's your captain, who's a great player and a generational talent, to fight anybody, I mean, when's the last time he really fought anyone? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A leopard doesn't really change his spots, right?
Yeah, I agree. I kind of, I saw that clip and hold on, we'll get to that as what's his face?
Josh Norris kind of gets a puck batted in, and Domi slides it down deep in the corner as Jake Sanderson goes back for the puck. Kalle Jonkrock lays the body into him as Brody pinches down the wall. Oh, Nick Robertson's playing tonight, my friend. Wow, we got a little bit of him in the action. Number 89, the kid out of California.
I always forget he's from California.
I know, because he lived in so many different spots. I believe he played for a team in Detroit like Little Caesars growing up, and he was kind of all over the map. But good to see him back in the lineup. I know he was doing okay with the AHL Marlies. So we'll see how he does. Reeves on the ice. I just, he's a skilled player, and you play him on the fourth line and you play him 8 minutes a night. What can he really do, right?
Yeah,
you can't really get to his game as what he brings in terms of his intangibles of speed, skill, and a guy that's more so a buzzsaw that, likes to play in the top 9 normally.
What a fucking crazy stat. Stützle has 0 goals. I thought it said 0 shots. 0 goals in the last 7 games. Hey, that's a great player to bet next goal on. That's like Caulfield right now.
Right. Yeah,
you have a talented player like him that isn't a little bit of a slump. Start hammering his anytime goal scoring bet. And the smartest thing you could do is that if it doesn't hit, double down, triple down, quadruple down. You always double down, never walk away from the table. Gambling is the answer, as number 18 whiffed on it.
You can make a real living gambling. That's like even like Clayton. That's even like Clayton Keller last night, though. I mean, he was due for a goal. He ended up getting one. I think Barrett Hayton actually stole one off his foot, but that was like him too. It's like it's only a matter of time before these guys that score 30 or 40 goals a year are going to pop off. And like you said, if they're in a little bit of a drought, hammer that.
Me and my buddies, we have a thing called the triple B. It's called the big boy bet. And whenever we're betting big on something, we say, hey, I got a triple B. And I almost triple B'd Keller last night, and I didn't, because I have a little trip coming up this weekend and I didn't want to spend all my money.
Right.
And what do you know? He fucking scored. So that's what I get for not gambling. I deserve that.
Yeah, I mean,
Bet 365 commercial comes right on in our face.
Hold them, fold them. I believe you are going to Sin City this weekend, correct?
Yeah, I've never been to Las Vegas besides the 10 times I went in the playoffs, and I heard good things. I heard it's nice to get out.
Heard a lot about you.
Do some touristy stuff, and 5:35 remaining in the first period as the top unit is on the ice.
Check out the Hooters Hotel and kind of see where that takes you.
Exactly. Check out a couple different kinds of Hooters if you know what I mean.
We're talking big old boobies. Folks, as we go back, and there's 5 minutes in the first frame, Matty Nyes kind of massages the puck over to Morgan Riley in the corner. Brady Tkachuk lays his shoulder into him. I don't know. This has been you can tell there's emotion in this game, Rob, though, right? You can tell this is a high-stake game, even though it's early in the season for both teams. They seem on their toes. It has that kind of playoff feel in terms of they know what's at stake here.
Yeah, definitely. It's and I noticed it in the pace. The first couple games we did, the pace was absolute garbage, and you can kind of tell here right now. Not too many risks out there. They're playing the right way, and it's a tie game, and these games are important, man. I was talking about it yesterday. How important these games are. It's not the MLB where you have 300 games a season. I
No,
mean,
you're not playing 4 games a day, and it's like just your heart rate's at 62 for the whole season. I mean, these teams, especially in Canada, are under a microscope, and when you're struggling and you need wins, right in and around that, that Thanksgiving time is kind of when you figure out what team you are. I mean, there's a statistic out there where it says like, if you're in the playoffs by Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, you have, an 80% chance or whatever it is to make the playoffs. I mean, these games truly matter. I mean, you get to the halfway point of the season right around Christmas or a little after that. It's like, it's pretty much set because the league is so competitive to really make up ground.
Yeah, it's insane. We have a commercial here, so we're going to take it to the comments here. What do we think about Nylander taking the subway to the game and tucking one in 5 minutes? That's rock star shit.
That is rock star.
What are the Leafs nasty? Not quite. We should start a GoFundMe to raise $30K to get Robbie on the glass and T.O. shirtless. $30K would probably be the number. You're spot on.
$30K, yeah, because you're going to be about $20K for the drinks and $10 for the ticket, right?
Yep, exactly. Marcel, thank you. I appreciate that. Edmonton is going down tomorrow, baby. Are you serious? That's hockey, baby. Oh, he's doing Dickie V because all day. Are you serious?
Are you serious, baby? Unbelievable, baby.
Basketball, baby. Are you serious?
Shout out to Dickie V, who's obviously not listening. What a goat that guy was. I mean, unbelievable on college basketball.
He dead?
He's not dead, but he was battling cancer and he's back. And I think he's doing okay now. Not great, but lost his good buddy Bobby Knight, the other week. So I think Dickie V is probably doing okay, but not perfect.
Hey guys, we double down and bet Sharks money line tomorrow for the second game in a row. Yes, we are watching with you at Nodak. Yeah, appreciate that. Shout out to North Dakota. Tapped into the contest. Hell yeah. Noah Henderson to the Leafs. I think that'd be a great move.
Noah Henderson. Yeah, there's a good similarity there too with Brad Tribling, the GM, former Calgary Flame GM. I think that would make sense. But what do you give up to get him? I still think they need a hard-nosed defenseman. And I was talking about it the other day on my podcast, Rob. Like, to me, it seemed like go get a guy like Gudis at the last year at free agency. I mean, hindsight's 2020, where 2 guys sit on a couch like assholes. But I thought like that is an element they're missing in their decor versus a guy like John Klingberg. I mean, you had John Klingberg in a younger version of Timothy Liljegren. You need a little sandpaper on that back, and they still don't have that. And even in playoff time, when they eventually do get in, it's kind of the same song and dance. You need some sandpaper on that back end. Who is different and who's going to really bring that criminal element? Right now, they have no one.
So, Swish, are you saying that the Leafs absolutely need to make a move to do anything this year?
I mean, I think they either need, these guys don't grow on trees. You need a big right shot defenseman. Where are you going to go get that? But I think they need someone a little different on their back end in terms of an intangible of like a Gudis. Who's going to put fear into the opposition when it comes playoff time? Because right now they don't have any of that. Right now they have a lot of skilled defensemen that are easy to play against and easy to get to the net and the blue paint on. What teams that win in the playoffs, you look at Vegas last year, you have guys like Nick Hague, you have Brady McNabb, who's a beast, you have Pietrangelo, you have White Cloud, you have these big bruising defensemen where you can't get any space on them. And you even look at a team like Tampa Bay, who won it the year before. They have Cernak, they have Hedman, they have Bogosian, they have Shen. Like all these teams that win have heavy bodies on the back end, and that's something they've never had and never really been able to figure out.
Yeah, that was a hell of a breakdown. I'm just gonna say, right you are, Ken, because that was spot on. I completely agree.
You know what I mean? Like it become April, May, June. If you don't have those heavy guys on the back end, who's gonna put fear into Brad Marchand's eyes or Nikita Kucherov's eyes when it comes playoff time on that back end? Nobody. They're going to walk right all over those guys.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the truth. I mean, maybe it's a little bit brutally honest. I was a guy that could never play that way. So, I'm like, I understand it now. And it just, for me, they haven't really solved that issue. And they could have the best forwards in the world, which they do. But if you don't have those guys on the back end, I don't really know if you go deep in a playoff. I mean, Matthews would have to have 1 or 2 goals a game. And he could do that maybe because he's that sick.
Yeah, we got 2:55 remaining in the first.
Mitchie Marner, you got to hit the 1T fella.
2:50 remaining, folks. We're coming up at the end of the period. Drop your comments, questions, concerns in the chat. We will get to them at the intermission. As number 21, I don't even know. See, dude, I got to have a game sheet. I keep saying I am bringing a game sheet.
Yeah, that's Matthew Joseph. Brings it over the line. Former Tampa Bay product. Won a cup there. He was a Black Ace 1 year. Throws it over to Giroux. Claude, he's got the neck guard on tonight. Good to see that. Yep. I like that. Pretty sick that Claude Giroux has the boys watching Entourage too after practice. I mean, what an old school beauty. Like, sit them down, watch a little Entourage, get to know these guys. This is what the National League's all about. As 34 brings it over the line. Oh, nice little pull-up play there. I like this Nyes on the line. I like the little Scottsdale chemistry. I think he kind of even, resembles his style a little bit, right? You got the back tuck, bigger body, kind of moves on his edges like Matthews. He's probably a guy that, he obviously watched growing up. But Big Poppy right now, I like to think, Rob, he's with Jack Hughes out. I mean, is he the best player in the league right now? I mean, it's hard to argue not, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's him and Quinn Hughes right now, honestly. I don't know how else you look at it other than that. 2:09 remaining in the first period. We have 10 in the shots in the first period. Good pace. It's a 1-1 game. Drop your comments, questions, concerns in the chat. We actually have more people than usual.
Yeah, folks.
In the stream, but less chattage, which is fine if everyone's a little tired.
Folks, chirp at us, get at us, ask us any questions about the game, ask us about tomorrow. We're going to have Biz Nasty on the call. It'll be great. It'll be hockey night in Scottsdale, live from this very couch. But get at us here. We got about 2 minutes or maybe even less into the, to go into the intermission here. Been a great game so far, Rob. I think it's been pretty even, obviously, with the shots being 10-10. But I think the pace both ways. They're throwing both. Guys are looking good. Pucks behind defensemen and a couple chances here. So this game has, really been, I think, pretty even so far.
Yeah, I agree. As there's a choice, last chance, ditch effort to jam that home, and it comes out of the zone.
And obviously the Leafs are a little banged up on the back end. They have that William Legnesson guy playing, and Benoit came over from Anaheim, signed as a free agent a little later in the summer. Actually, I believe he was like an August type deal at a league minimum. And seems like Matthews is playing like every other shift right now as he's got a chance. Oh, my toe in fella. Oh my God.
Great save. Great try.
Korpisalo with a nice little save. I don't think Matthews got as good of wood on that backhand as he would have liked, but what a toe. Who'd he absolutely pull the shoot on there? My God, that was sick. Oh, my God.
Why go on your knees there?
I have no idea. Never leave your feet. Who is that, number 43?
I don't know.
Third pairing defenseman
I'll print
there.
out the rosters tomorrow because we got to.
Yeah, we'll be dialed. But that's actually a really good save by Korpisalo. I thought he didn't get maybe needed a little Viagra on that just to get it up. But Poppy with a great chance there. Korpisalo with a nice little mitt save. It'd be interesting to see. We can check it out after the first period here. But what Matthews' TOI in terms of time on ice for this first period, I'd say he's about 8 minutes, man. And he seemed like he's played a lot.
I'll tell you right now, we over 6, that's for sure. And that's not refreshed, but it seems like a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, it seems like he's been out there at least of late, like every other shift there. Sheldon Keefe is pressing all the buttons. That's a good thing about Sheldon Keefe. I think he realizes what guys are going on a night-to-night basis, and he kind of adjusts his lineup sheet, off of that. I think he does a really good job in terms of getting the guys that should be on the ice out there.
Yeah, I mean, the Leafs look good, man. They look solid. They're not kind of shit in the bed like they did to Tampa, and it's easy to say against Senators because Tampa are a better team. But
as Giordano in the 55 and over club throws it just wide of the cage, folks. After one period of play, it is 1-1. Shots were pretty much even. I believe they were 12-10. I want to say in favor of the Leafs. That is the first 20 minutes live from Scotiabank Arena in the heart of Toronto, Ontario, folks. Get at us in the comments. Ask us any questions. We have about 20 minutes in this first intermission as they send it over to Sportsnet and Elliot Friedman and the gang.
What do you think about the league upholding McAvoy's suspension?
I didn't like it. I thought last time we talked about it when we were watching Detroit and Florida, OEL was back in that game. Then very next night, I think, yes, he did tag his chin. Was it a little bit malicious? Yes, I think it warranted probably a 2-game suspension. But, I mean, like we go back to, Oliver Ekman-Larsson is in the lineup the night after, and McAvoy is still suspended, missing 4 games. So I think the league just right now is a little coming off the top ropes in terms of just trying to really put their stamp on it and be strict early on. You see with the Pinto Bean parlay, you see with McAvoy, a couple of these other suspensions. I think Gary right now is not fucking around.
I agree. As TJ in the chat says he's 3 sheets to the wind. He can barely type on a Wednesday. Absolutely respect the hell out of that. This is from Bobby. You boys think Bertuzzi will toot it on soon? I'm not going to lie, Switch. I haven't really been dialed into Bertuzzi. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've watched him a little bit. I just think in terms of it takes you a little bit to get acclimated with a new team. And he's the kind of a guy that's been bounced around a little bit over the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, he goes from Detroit, then at Boston, now he's in Toronto. It always takes a little bit longer to get, up to speed with your new line mates, to get, really in flow and in sync with these guys. So we're only 10 games into it. I think he's a guy that can find his spot, find his role, feel comfortable. It's a tough place to play, as you know. So once he finds that, he kind of just chills out. The microscope kind of goes off of him. I think at playoff time, he's the guy that they're really going to keen on.
Right. That's why I'm not worried about him, because when the playoffs come, he'll be wreaking havoc or whatever the hell you said it. However you say it. Fartboy22 says, if Austin buried that, I might have busted. I agree.
Oh, my tug.
Do we think anyone is getting traded if the Oilers can't beat San Jose? That's a great question, Switch. What the hell happens if the Oilers lose?
That is a very good question. And I think, you already seen it with Kenny Holland sending down Jack Campbell to the minors. So now they're going to call up a goalie in Bakersfield who's a little bit of a journeyman in Calvin Pickard, who Kenny Holland actually had in Detroit and used him in Grand Rapids and a little bit in Detroit when they need him. He's a very good number 3 goalie in any organization. Now, that right there gets your team's attention. So that's the first move. We send down Campbell. He's got to go find his game. Now, if they lose this game, which they're going to play Stuart Skinner tomorrow, man, I don't know. I think Woodcroft's job, I hate to say it, again, we've been talking a little bit of coaching staffs and guys getting fired or canned. I mean, if they lose to San Jose tomorrow, a.k.a. Man Jose, I think his job is in.
Yeah, I do too. And at that point, I think you trade McDavid, you trade Draisaitl, and you just, on your way out, just give a big F you to the entire league and just be like, I'm tired of this shit. Not really, but yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to do something, right? I mean, this is getting to the point where they're going to have to literally string together like a 10-game win streak to be in contention for playoffs. But
yeah, it just sucks. I think that when you're expected or your expectation is to win the cup and you fall short of anything that, let alone, you're in the basement of the Pacific Division, it's hard, man. I mean, it's the NHL. There's expectations, there's pressure. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes Thursday. Tomorrow we'll be streaming that game with Biz. That is a must win in oil country.
All right. And we have a CJ, that's funny. Who y'all got for a dark horse pick for the Stanley Cup? This isn't a dark horse. I don't have, you know what? I really don't. I don't have a dark horse winning it. I think Vegas is going to repeat. I really do.
Man,
Colorado.
That decor, I think you're right. I just think whoever gets out of the West is the team that's going to do it. Now, Vegas would be my favorite just because how good that decor is, how good Aiden Hill is, their forward core. They've been there, done that. They've looked great early on in the season. I think that would be my favorite as well. Dark horse, I mean, I would throw out a team. I don't think they're
not really a dark
horse.
I
was exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say Dallas, but I don't think they get out of the West.
No, I don't either.
That division is it's too good, that conference.
Moving along, thoughts on Kalen Addison to the Sharks? I don't know anything about him.
He's a young defenseman that was in Minnesota. He grew up in just outside of Brandon, Manitoba. Young, skilled, very small, undersized. I think he's a good player. I played against him a little bit with the Iowa Wild when he was in the jungle in the American Hockey League. Young player, second-round pick about 3 or 4 years ago. I just don't think that coach really wanted to use him in a role that they really saw it, because they have Jared Spurgeon already, who's their undersized right defenseman who plays on the power play. So where does he really fit in? Well, he was kind of on the outside looking in, and they trade him and they go get Zach Bogosian, which is a heavier body to play on the third pair. So I just think it was a numbers game for him. I hope he can find his stride in San Jose. That's obviously a team that's struggling. They're young, but I think he can go in there and compete and be a power play guy for them.
Jay Swish, are you a secret Sens fan with 3 former UND D-man playing, or are you a professional unbiased media member?
You know what? I do root for those guys. I love Jake Sanderson's game, obviously, and I love that Tyler Kleven's game. He's played a little bit this year. Bernard Docker's there. He's kind of been an up and down guy, kind of finding himself in a similar role I was in back in the day in St. Louis and between the AHL and the NHL. But going back to Kleven and Sanderson, I love those guys' games. I think Clevin, once he gets acclimated into the system, he's going to be a guy that really flourishes in the NHL because he lays the body, Rob.
Ooh,
He's
love
got,
a good hit.
like a cold shoulder. He's going to have to fight a little bit if he plays that way. But in college, I think he was taking like a 5-minute major every other weekend. So I love that criminal element.
Chicks love that too. Just chicks with big hooters love that. All right, moving along here. Good questions today, Chad. This is one of the best set of questions we've had since we started doing that.
True hockey fans.
Huberto, yeah, there is. Fartboy22 saying good sneaky pickup. Like the people in here know their shit. Is Huberto cooked as a player? Another good question. A little bit of speculation here. Switch. What do you think about the situation with Jonathan Huberto?
Man, it sucks because you see him on the bench last night or the other night, and he just looks depressed.
Yeah.
He looks like he can't get anything going. He's not feeling great about himself. He knows he's making, 10 in a hook.
No, he's only making 80 mil.
But I think he sold his soul to South Florida. I mean, he was the guy that was driving a Lamborghini to the rink in Sunrise, Florida. And now all of a sudden you trade that in for a GMC Denali. Now I'm a truck guy. I'm a guy from the snow. But Huberto seemed like he was that flash. He seemed like he flourished in South Florida. It just sucks to see a guy lose all of his confidence. And now the whole city, kind of in his ear, Canadian media. It's just hard, man. I hope he can really find his game.
Yeah, I do too, because he seems like a good guy. I don't know him, but also like this isn't a case of where it's the first 10 games. Last year, he didn't live up to expectations either. But like you said, it is different. I feel like you get a bit of a mulligan coming into a new team, new system, new rink. You gotta get acclimated with the parking staff. You don't know where to park your cars. It's the first day of school. You're nervous. Like you're only making $80 million. Like, it's a nerve wrack. So then, with coming into this year, he had his mulligan last year. It's like everyone's like, "Hey, what's up? You ready to perform? What's good?" And he's not. But I hope he can find his rhythm and get going.
Yeah, maybe find a tanning bed in Calgary. If you can't tone it, tan it. Get that little heat on you. Feel good about it again. I'm not sure where he goes from here, but I'm hoping he can figure it out. You thought maybe he could figure it out with Darryl leaving, but we'll see. It is what it ain't, Rob.
So we have two questions that I'm going to compare. This is from the anti-stud. What is the funnier outcome? Sharks beat the Oilers or Oilers beat the Sharks? Secondly, if you're McDavid, when is enough? Which we kind of already touched on a little bit, but like, what do you like? I think enough is enough already for McDavid. Something's got to change. But what's the funnier outcome? I think obviously if the Sharks beat the Oilers is the more entertaining one for us.
I think that'd be hilarious. I think like an Anthony Duclair hat trick and they win just for the drama, right? We're the guys that live and die by the drama. We want the league talking about different things. I think Sharks win if they can get hot, and win another game. They beat Philly last night in a barn burner and a spectacle of somewhere under 7,000 people were there. I think if the Sharks can somehow win. Now, we're not rooting for a coach to get fired, but I just think that would just add to the drama of everything going on in oil country. And I do think the Oilers, one way or the other, will come out of this and be okay, whether they have to fire a coach, whether they figure it out, whether Jack Campbell goes down to the minors and he comes back and he's the hero. They'll figure it out one way or the other. I think just in the short term, that would be kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely. Zikamos, this is a hot take. Also, we have Picker's a good guy. He's unbelievable. I'm happy getting another shot. Me too. I love when guys get another shot. This is in from Zikamos. Kings might be a sneaky cup contender. I actually like that as a dark horse.
Yeah, I like that. I think, again, the West is loaded, especially just top heavy with Vegas and Colorado. But, yeah, I think they could. I think their goaltending has been good. I think just that 1-3-1 system they play is so goddamn boring, if I'm being honest. But they do play it to a T. Todd McClellan's a great coach. And they do have a lot of good forwards there in Kempe, in Fiala, and Victor Arvidsson will get healthy. Kopitar is obviously nasty. So yeah, that's interesting. And Doughty's playing like it's 2008 again. I mean, the guy looks crispy rice, spicy tuna back there, fella, snapping it.
Yeah, definitely. Someone said I have an echo. Echo.
Johnny Echo.
Still, all right, let's keep it moving here. I feel like Brady Tkachuk can easily get 45 tucks this year with 8 and 10 already. I actually didn't even know he had 8.
Sneaky 8.
Yeah. 8 ball. Is Matthew Tkachuk top 5?
Echo is going crazy, Hayden said. Really? Is it both mics or is it just the Heat Daddy?
Try to sit further apart for a second. I think the microphones. What about now?
Folks, what about now?
Check.
Yo. Check.
Echo. What the fuck?
Just heater. Oh,
the one mic is picking up both. That's what it's saying. I'm also
Jay Swish, Mike Good, Heat Daddy.
What about now?
Folks, what about now? We're sitting a little further apart. Talk to us, baby.
We got to figure that out tomorrow with Biz here. We got to
Yeah, we're
figure
gonna
out, like, we're all going to have to sit far apart.
Stop kissing for a sec. Hey, baby, it was just a French makeout.
What about now?
Not as bad now.
Check, mic check, mic check. Is there any echo at all? There should be no echo whatsoever.
Sounds better, they say.
Like better or good? For those of you recurring people that have been in here, we gotta. Do I sound like normal? We're both. You know what's really funny? It's your first time in here or whatever. We're both so bad at tech shit. Like,
We are horrible tech guys. We're more just subpar personalities. Two guys sitting on a goddamn couch trying to do our best to give you the best in-game entertainment. Folks, thanks for staying with us. Let us know how the mics are doing. We are in the first intermission over here live from Hockey Night in Scottsdale, right on the goddamn couch.
why the fuck is there echo again?
Echo bad. Echo tap. Shout out to the Echo Tap, which is in Madison, Wisconsin. Trying to grind through the technical difficulties over here, folks.
Echo. Check. Check, check, check. That sounds good on yours. Do I still have an echo? There's no way.
When you lean towards the laptop, that's better. Are both okay, folks? We don't want to be annoying you.
Mic check. I feel like I should be all right.
All in.
What about right now? Shout out to the chat, dude. Thank you. We would have never known that.
Folks, thanks for staying with us. Thank you for helping out. Fire away with any questions you have. It is the first intermission live from the couch. Hockey Night in Scottsdale. We are watching. If you just joined us, the Toronto Maple Leafs are hosting the Ottawa Senators in the Battle of Ontario. We have 1-1 after the first frame. Probably about 8 minutes to go here in the intermission. So fire away, chirp at us, whatever. We got Paul Bissonnette from TNT coming on tomorrow to join the boys and our stream. Sit on this very couch in North Scottsdale.
What about
Arizona.
now? Do I have an echo back here? We got to figure this out for the second period.
No echo.
So whenever I lean forward, they say it has an echo.
Yeah, you got to go Fat Joe, lean back.
Shout out to Fat Joe, a friend of the show, fellow New Yorker. Fat Joe is actually going to make an appearance tomorrow with Biz.
Fat Joe is stopping by. He is bringing a charcuterie board because he will be hungry.
Shout out to Fat Joe. I'm trying to say the lyrics without saying the N-word. If you don't know how to, if you think you could dance and you don't know how to dance or something, simply just lean back, folks.
Lean back, folks.
Yeah, I said the laptop mic is picking you up, which is weird though, because it's not on.
Oh my Johnny Bubblegum. Folks, how we doing? What it is, what it isn't. 93.1, yours truly here. Folks,
Fart.
the Battle of Ontario.
So what's the setup going to be tomorrow with Biz here?
I think I'm going to go Johnny Longbody here, and then he'll probably sit here, or maybe we pull up a chair there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We can play musical chairs.
Okay.
Yeah. We got time.
Yeah, we have time.
All in. Folks, head over to the Heat Daddy merch. Check out the tap-in shirts. Check out the Bedarded 1507. My favorite is Heater tickling the ceiling in the corner looking for a clap bomb. Also, check out Butter Golf. Butter Golf is the official sponsor of my podcast, Live in 5.
We got to get your stuff up on here like this. See? Like how I do this?
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, we send me Butter Golf graphics and we'll take care of that.
Yeah. Folks, you got to check out butter.golf. We have some cool shit coming out, especially in the next couple of weeks. We got, hats, hoodies, whatever it is. Check it out. It's a lifestyle and apparel brand by your boy. I'm wearing the jersey right now, customized swish in the back. How are you? But what's up, chat? We got a few minutes here before we get going in the second intermission.
We have a question. Where are we coming to next?
Where are we coming to? Well, we're in the works. I don't know if we should say it. Should we? We were in the works trying to put together a Calgary swing. We're looking at Buffalo, especially in the new year, looking at the All-Star game. But right away, I would say if we can get north of the border, get to Cowtown, work out the logistical side of this,
Yeah.
it would be great to see the good people of Canada because we know how special they are and how much they love to tap in.
I'm gonna go absolutely wild at a live show too. Like North Dakota, it was great. It was a great live show, but it was my first time ever. I felt a little bit timid, a little bit not scared, but I didn't want to say things that are too bad. But let me tell you something. If we go to Calgary on December 2nd for that Hockey Night in Canada matchup, and we have a show during the day, I am going to be firing on all cylinders, as I'm sure you will be, Swish. And we have a question.
I will have the radio voice going, buzzing like Jake Muzzin. What's the question, baby?
Assuming New Jersey get Nico and Jack back fairly fast, with the goaltending at below a 900 save percentage and over 3 goals against per game from both goalies, is goaltending an issue that holds them back from getting deep? Should they look at trying to get a stud in net? I'm going to say no.
I think goaltending will figure itself out. I think, if they absolutely need something come the deadline, they could look into that. But I just think with that team, even going back to last year, like goaltending wasn't an issue for them while they lost in the playoffs, right? I think they were just a young team kind of building. So I think right now, I think it's okay. They'll figure it out on the back end, especially with the goaltending. And as long as they have those guys like Jack Hughes, a.k.a. Little Jizzy, and the guy out of the Swiss Fondue League and Nico Hischier being their captain, I think they have a legitimate chance to be a contender in the East. What are they saying?
That your mic's louder. What about now? Thank you for working with us through these technical difficulties, folks.
Yep, stay with us. Trust the process. Wednesday night hockey, the night you love to hate, formerly on NBC, now bringing you it right from the couch in North Scottsdale, Arizona. Folks, Hockey Night in Scottsdale getting almost to the second frame here. Heat Daddy, what do we have just, in store for the second period? What'd you like from both teams? Do you have just one thing you'd like to see from maybe the Maple Leafs? Maybe it's the Ottawa Senators making a push. What do you got for the folks watching and tuning into this game, joining us on the live chat?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think also if the mics are bad, let us know. We should sound the same. I think I would love to see a push from Ottawa here. Listen, I want Ottawa to have a good team. I want them to be competitive. I'm not going to call this a litmus test, but at some point, you're going to need to match up with these teams if you want to do anything in the playoffs. I mean, we already know Toronto's going to be in the playoffs. We already know Toronto has cup aspirations. So as for the Senators, you have to look at this game and say, if we want to consider ourselves a serious hockey team, we have to beat teams like this.
100%. And I just think at some point you got to start winning games, and at some point you got to start turning the corner and figuring out what kind of team you are. And I think Ottawa has that fight, that dog in them. I just think the proof is in the pudding, and they need to start winning games if they want to get this thing turned around and be a playoff contender. Because you look at a young team like Detroit, they are on that trajectory to make up playoffs. And I would kind of consider them in the same boat, right? Young core, rebuilding team. They look like they're kind of rounding the corner, and Ottawa seems at a standstill right now.
Yeah, it's saying I'm echoing again. What the fuck? What the fuck do we do? Echo. I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? I want to tweet out that we're back live for the second, but if I'm going to keep echoing,
do you have two of Rob in the studio? One with your mic and one with the laptop mic.
We just missed a fucking goal. Fuck.
It might just be echoing through Jordo's mic. What settings do you have on Jordo?
What about now?
Folks, what about now? Just missed a goal. Giroux, who just put the neck guard on, which I like to see. Stay safe out there, folks. Stay single. Nice little shot. Just kind of a muck. Joseph throws it to the cage, wraps it around, finds Giroux on the backside, and he makes no mistake of it. He goes cookie jar with that thing. Oh, my God, that was bunk.
We can't use this one. We've tried it, but I appreciate it. What is that he's saying? Who's muted where?
It sounds, I don't even know what he's saying. He says, do you have two of Rob in the studio?
No.
One with the mic and one with the laptop mic. It might just be echoing through Jordo's mic. What settings do you have on Jordo?
I think nothing. Like you're literally
stop setting. Echo cancellation confirmed. Reduce mic background.
Sit on the mic and it'll fix it, says somebody. I don't know what it could possibly be.
I don't know either, but talk to us, folks. Is it echoing in the back and forth, or we're trying to work through this technical difficulty? We can't have this happen tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the big thing I'm worried about.
We'll stay with it here, but let us know. Let us know if it's annoying, whatever the fuck it is. Be honest with us. We need everything.
Hold on, let me see.
We are for the people over here. This is a people show, so. I don't know either, but talk to us, folks. Is it echoing in the back and forth?
Hello.
Work through this technical difficulty. We can't have this happen tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the big thing I'm worried about.
We'll stay with it.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds pretty good. I mean, I don't know. As Benoit just gets absolutely rocked by Tarasenko, a.k.a. Tank. That guy's a brick shithouse. Played with him in St. Louis. Little cup of Joe with the Vladimir Tarasenko. He was a guy, Rob, that literally could bench, I think, whatever you put on. I think he was, squat, whatever. He was an elevator in terms of just being an absolute tank. Those Russian guys are built different. Folks, if you're with us, anyways, 17:40 and counting here in the second frame. We're trying to work through some technical difficulties in terms of mics echoing and whatnot, but we appreciate you staying with us. We are watching Toronto hosting, the Ottawa Senators, who just got on the board, leading 2-1, which kind of seems like a must-win for them, but honestly for Toronto as well. So both teams are competing. This pace has been good. Playoff-like atmosphere over here in Toronto in terms of, both teams are on their toes. They're playing assertive. It just has that feel, even though we're only about 10 to 12 games into the regular season.
I'm trying to figure this out here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get far away and trying to work through this here.
Folks are working through it. Is it just you or is it? Folks, 16:52 to play here in the second frame as they're showing Vladimir Tarasenko going F1 hard on Benoit. Just lays him into the cheap seats there, right into the Life's Good LG sign on the back end wall. Toronto had a little bit of a scramble in terms of a chance in front of Korpisalo in the Ottawa Senators zone, but nothing to show for folks. Claude Giroux taking the face-off. Had that line back out there. They seem to be like they're going tonight. Jakey Sanderson massaging the pill, playing with Travis Hamonic tonight. Steady Eddie right-hander out of the prairie of Manitoba. He's been in the league for, I think, 12, 13 years now, and he's had a hell of a career despite some injuries and I believe some personal stuff. So good to see him snapping around still. Looks like he's playing well.
You're going to have to take over real quick while I work through these grueling conditions here.
Jackie Mason, a.k.a. Jackie Furta, says, Rob, try literally eating the mic when you talk. Keep it close. Keep your chin tucked.
Yeah, I usually do anyway, actually. Tomorrow I will be drinking for that stream too.
Bob Gucci will be on the piss tomorrow, folks. He will be hammering back, I believe, whiskey, maybe a couple Irish coffees to get him going. But again, that is tomorrow with Biz. We're going to be doing the Oilers at the San Jose, a.k.a. the Man Jose Sharks.
Try this. Does this do anything?
Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Check. Yo. Holla.
Yeah, go a little bit.
Hello.
Fuck.
Chad Johnson said, what do you think of that Galchenyuk arrest video? Wow. Yeah, that wasn't perfect. I'll say that. I think he was all goofed up on Mountain Dew. I don't know if he's a guy that really drinks or he, got off the screws that night and had himself a night. But yeah, that was kind of crazy, especially being with his family. But hopefully he got help. Hopefully he's in better hands. Allstate, are you in good hands? He's playing over in St. Petersburg, Russia. As you know what? Speaking of the devil, folks, someone asked in the chat in the first intermission, when would a guy like Tyler Bertuzzi find his game? As sure as shit, as normally happens on this show. Well, the guy that gets called out usually answers. Bert with a nice little tuck in front of that. Vintage Bert. This guy's been the same player ever since his Grand Rapids days in the American Hockey League. tongues down to the goddamn ice, laces everywhere, flow, dusty mustache, and he just does what he does. Right in front of the 4x6, a nice little play where he's able to corral the puck, backhand, forehand, finds it right over the pad, beating Corpusalo posting in. But Bertuzzi's been the same type of player since I think, going back to his days in junior, playing for the Guelph Storm. Played with a guy named Robbie Fabry. They were able to win an OHL championship there. So I believe Bucky Cheds, Garrett Sparks. Shout out to Sparks. He was on that team too. Good netminder beauty. So yeah, Bertuzzi, long flow, tongues out, doesn't give a fuck, has no tape on his knob, finds the back of the twine.
Check.
Folks, this game's knotted up at 2 as William Nylander corrals the puck over the offensive blue line, pulls up, a nice little pull-up play, kind of loses the puck. Stutzel able to get that, make a nice escape move, eluding pressure, fires it up 90 feet to Matthew Joseph, who gets the puck below the goal line. Giordano, veteran behind the net, as he corrals that puck, and Mitch Marner takes it up the ice. Nice little slip play to Matthews, and Poppy makes a nice little far pad maneuver, beating a defenseman and getting it to the cage. Marner. Oh. Folks, where are we watching from? Chirp at us in the chat. Bob Gucci taking a piss, trying to figure out his mic, grinding through some technical difficulties in terms of echoing, but stay with us. Legson back to the puck, good Swedish defenseman, kind of an up-and-down guy throughout his career, was playing in Edmonton before he came over to Toronto, spent time in Bakersfield as well. Folks, 14 minutes and counting. I believe it's 14:09 on our screen here. So Levitt in the lineup tonight, good North Dakota boy wearing 43, Jay Swish's number. How are you? Cup of Joe, the St. Louis Blues. Folks, where are we tuning in from? How we living? What are we seeing on this ice surface? I'd love for Chikrin to get maybe a notch tonight.
Someone say the word notch tonight.
On and off the ice for Chicky. So
live show in New York City. Yeah, I'm actually messaging a bar there right now. But yeah, sorry, I haven't been dialed into this game. Can someone please, for the love of God, I'm trying to text my way through this madness. Somebody tell me that my mic is okay. I just went on the live stream on Twitter. It's not echoing.
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, is it YouTube that's echoing?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're no goddamn fucking scientists over here, but
am I echoing still or no? I should not be echoing.
Folks, let us know low and slow.
Fuck.
What are they saying? Yeah.
He said it's good. All right, thank
good.
God. All right, I'm gonna tweet that we're back for the second here.
Bob Gucci is back, folks. Good to see the Heat Daddy grinding through it low and slow, folks.
Nothing makes me go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you have any questions for us, or you have any question for the Heat Daddy or me, answer in the chat. Get at us. Chirp us. What do we got going tonight? It is Wednesday night hockey, right here in the jaw of North Scottsdale. Folks, how we doing?
Nothing makes me more pissed off than technology. Like, just let me talk into the microphone. What the fuck?
Low and slow, the mic is good. Low and slow always, baby. Low and slow like a good center iceman coming through the middle of the ice. One of the best guys in the league to do that, Rob, Philly Deneau. Phil Low and Slow Deneau. Shout out to the LA Kings. Man, that team is good.
Shout out to the Kings. Shout out to Los Angeles, the beautiful city of Los Angeles.
Heard a lot about you. A lot of good trim. Manhattan Beach, Malibu. Fella, how was your weekend there, by the way? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. I was staying in a good area. No homeless guys pissed on me. I didn't see any homeless guys' balls hanging out either. And actually, first time I was in LA ever. I'm in an Uber. I look to my right. There's a guy sitting on a staircase with his balls just resting on the concrete. And they probably had like, it was a lot of hang time, like 2 feet. It was just, that guy had a medical disease. But anyway, I wasn't in that area, and it was good. It was a fun little relaxing getaway. I was there for a birthday, and I'm not the biggest birthday guy, but I got invited to go to a birthday celebration, and well, I went because I like to party. I literally have a drinking problem. Back to you, Switch.
A set of moose knuckles just hanging right down. You got to love that, right? Just a nice set of nuts as you're trying to enjoy, whatever you're doing in LA, palm trees. We're talking missionary. We're talking strippers. That one review you had was hilarious of the pen or whatever, the vape pen. I was dying laughing.
Thank you. Someone just said I'm echoing again. What the actual fuck is going on, bro?
so frustrating. I don't understand how it's possible.
Folks, we are trying to grind our way through this technical difficulty. We just don't know what the hell we're doing. That's kind of that simple. As Toronto goes to the power play, Parker Kelly brings it over midline, finds his way to the net with a little bit of a shot from the left flank on Joseph Wall. The speed of that shot, in case you're wondering, was 84 miles an hour, 84 on a hook to be exact. I would love to see Austin Matthews get one here on the power play. I think he's due. It's crazy to say he's due, but as a guy that has 13 and 12 games, but he looked good tonight. Boots are going. Anytime Poppy's moving his legs, a.k.a. the Pistons, the Detroit Pistons, it's going to be a good night, especially for the good folks at Toronto. So it's like in and out. Sounds great for a second and then sounds bad the next.
I don't understand. I'm not moving, though. Is it the phone? What about now? What about now? What about now?
Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
I don't want to tweet that we're back live until we figure this out. I don't understand how that's possible. I'm not even moving.
Folks, 12:30 left here in the second period as Klingberg runs the drop, the cross and drop. Matthews over to Nylander. Nylander brings it in. Curl up. Was able to pick it off as he marches on the ice and kills the clock a little bit. Jake Sanderson. It's a nice little drop play. A delay, if you will. Tavares corrals the puck, and Toronto resets. Klingberg massages the mail as he lugs it up the ice over the halfway marker of the sheet.
I'm going to move this laptop entirely. Because this is pissing me off. Maybe the volume of your voice gets picked up by the other mic. I think that's true because I do talk loud. But that's just like
Matthews massaging his way. Kelly Youngcroft grabs the puck. Riley over to Matthews. Back to Riley with a drive that is blocked in front. Chikrin back to 5-on-5 play here, folks. We are approaching the 11:20 marker of the second period. Oh, Youngcroft with a nice little play in front. Matty Nyes finding him with a backhand slip. Bertuzzi, so crafty in front of the net, is he?
all right, what about now? What about now? What about now? What about now?
Folks, talk to us. Is Bob Gucci's mic okay, or do we need to adjust again? We are grinding through the second period here. Gregor with a little bit of speed. God, he's
so fast.
Goddamn fast. Luis Mendoza.
Someone said both mics are fucked now. Are people fucking with us? Now it's the other mic that's echoing, but we didn't do anything.
We did not do anything.
Mic check, mic check. Yeah, I'm getting word that my mic is echoing now.
That makes no sense. I didn't even do anything besides move the laptop. Trying to comment on a game here. Just the technical difficulties are through the roof.
Mute the TV. That's going to work.
All right, we'll try that.
Is it like a cable issue? Like, I don't understand. Check, 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 check. Seems like the built-in mic is still picking up the sound, which is insane because you sound fine for a minute and then it goes to shit.
Yo, fella, what's mine doing? Yo, 93.1, DJ Swish.
Oh, a little bit of shit. I don't understand why that could be even, like, how's that even possible?
Folks, talk to us. Are we still sounding like shit?
What about now?
What about now, fella?
Folks, what about now? Turn one mic off, see if it helps.
The anti tried that before. One mic doesn't work. Like it just sounds like shit and far away. What about now though? We're absolutely battling through this right now. I don't know if it's. We have any technology experts in the building?
93.1 DJ Swish. Folks, how's this mic sounding? I don't know why I started echoing, but let us know. How's the Heat Daddy sounding? How am I sounding? We're trying to grind our way through this as the second period is a little over halfway through. We have a great game going on in Toronto, and just in Scottsdale, we are battling through some hung-like symptoms. Wait, we might be good.
Yeah, I don't understand because we've always been good. We have the same. So now we're good. Are we good?
Now we're good. Are we
Mic
live?
check.
93.1. How we sounding? Folks, we are mucker grinder, loose puck finder. We're playing a dirty game here tonight. Holy shit. Heat Daddy, I have no idea what to do, but we're going to try to stay with it. We're trying to bring you the best coverage we can. We are just not tech guys. That is what it ain't.
This would be way worse if it was tomorrow and Biz was on and I was just drunk as hell. And I was like, I don't know. But trying to battle through this still. Hopefully, I think we can actually turn the volume of the TV on.
So now I'm getting that we're both sounding good.
We're both good?
We're both good at this moment. My sources, who are decent sources, say we're okay.
Jesus Christ.
Should we leave the TV volume off just because that might be working? Or what do we do?
I don't know. I think we should turn it on. I don't think that has anything to do with it. Not that I'm an expert, but.
Try.
Biz is coming on tomorrow. Yes, confirmed. We're doing the Sharks and Oilers game tomorrow. For those of you joining on Twitter, we're battling through adversity here. Our microphones have been fucked for the past 25 minutes here. And we're trying to work through it. I think we sound good. We can get back to calling the game like usual. Yep, we are doing the same exact thing we're doing now. We're commenting on the game. We're talking shit. It's just going to be with Biz right in the room, right next to me here, unless he takes the long way over there. And it's going to be a hell of a night, folks.
Yep, folks, we will be the same crew. Bob Gucci, Jay Swish. We are adding the TNT specialist, the most powerful man, arguably, in all of hockey media, Paul Biz Nasty Bissonette, who's a dear friend of the show. He is coming on tomorrow. He's actually doing TNT tonight as a part of a back-to-back. And we'll be on this very couch. Tomorrow night, we will be bringing you live coverage at 8:30 Mountain Standard. That is 10:30 Eastern as wow, chicken with a nice play to whoever the hell 52 is.
All right, we have a 2-2 game with 8:19 remaining in the second. We're going back to commenting on the game. I want to apologize. I don't know if I'll be putting on this headset again, as there's a drive deep into left by Nick Castellanos, and that'll be a home run. That'll be a 4-0 ball game. I like to consider myself a man of faith. And for all my bosses at Fox, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'll be putting on this headset again. I forget how it goes, but that's an epic speech. Thank you to the chat for telling me that my microphone was fucked up. I believe everybody, all 156 people watching on Twitter, we are back live commentating on the game. My microphone was fucked up, but we're good to go. As there's a drive deep into above the net by Castellanos, and good little hit there by Benoit.
Oh, Benoit,
No relation to
Tarasenko.
Chris.
No relation to Andre, Chris, or maybe a couple other Benoits. Oh, Tarasenko on the
pass.
back step there.
Just an adorable pass across the slot to Tarasenko.
How about Tarasenko back in the day, Rob? He'd get these CCM sticks ordered to him, like old school. I forget what they were, just the standard one pieces, but he would look at like 30 of them in a line. And he'd be able to look at them and he'd just be like, before even using them, he would just have the equipment manager be like, no, these are no good. And they're like, he'd probably grab like 5 to 15 out of the 30. And then the rest of them, we would just either give away or just like saw them in half.
Jesus.
That's what snipers do, don't they? They just
Yeah.
their lump.
Old Chris Kyle.
Old Chris Kyle, as Brady Tkachuk is tied up in the corner there. Big Poppy grabs the puck, skates to the midline, massaging that puck. Wow, does he have good hands?
I don't know if I'm going to be on Spit and Chicklets. You got to ask them. It's not up to me. And no, Biz Nasty will actually be here in person per sources.
So yeah, and also Hayden, thank you for the compliment that this broadcast is better than Sportsnet. We're just battling here, and that's what we do on Hockey Night in Scottsdale. We're just battling through adversity, and yeah, shout out to the Butter Golf jersey that Jay Swish is wearing. Hell of a jersey.
Yeah, this is a custom one. Rob actually got Jay Swish on the back of this, 93. I actually wanted number 93.1, but they couldn't do it for me. So anyways, folks, 7 minutes, a little over 7 minutes to play in the second period here. It's been a great game so far. We have battled through the technical difficulties. We are trying to bring you the best coverage in all of hockey over here at Hockey Night in Scottsdale. We do have a barn burner this game, man. I hate to say it, and who the fuck am I to say, but it has a little bit of an OT feel, even though we're only in the second period. I think these teams, they're not really giving an inch. They're playing hard, good gaps, defensemen are dialed. I love to see this hockey, especially early on in the season and into November.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see this game all knotted up at 2, and I think I haven't been paying attention for the past 10 minutes because of the technical difficulties. But enough with that. As Klingberg, the Kling Daddy, wheels into the slot and kind of just fades away and loses the puck. Very Pierre Engvall-like. No disrespect.
No, yeah, he kind of lost an edge there. And honestly, it kind of looked like vintage Klingberg there out of the Dallas days, before a couple of hip surgeries. He was kind of dicing up that neutral zone. But anyways, Giordano with a drive to the net gets blocked in front. Man, he's battling too. It's almost like these Canadian teams, man, I just think, when a little bit of heat comes on, these guys, they're willing to play for their city. They're willing to play for their coach. It has a different feel, especially north of the border, because hockey is so goddamn passionate.
And we have a fucking one-time goal out of absolutely nowhere. Jacob Chikrin from the slot.
I just mentioned Chicky Parm. I thought he might get one a notch on and off the ice tonight, so he's got the one on.
Okay.
Can he tuck after? I know he's got a lovely girlfriend, but maybe he gets laid tonight from her. So shout out to Jake Chikrin, friend of the show, former Arizona Coyote. What a headsy play there by Claude Giroux. You see, he sends it all the way up the ice because Joseph was going to negate the icing. He's able to beat it out.
Wow.
East-west behind the net through the trapezoid, and Chikrin, man, he's got a bomb, as we all know. He's able to find the cage. Was that on the river?
I think he was really surprised that went in. Did you see that? Wall's got to have that. He knows it, though. He knows it.
The St. Louis product. But did you see that play by Claude Giroux? He's not even to the red line yet, and he sends it 200 feet because he knows Joseph's going to beat that defenseman out. He's able to corral the puck, beat the icing out, go east-west, and find Chikrin right in the middle of the slot. And I thought that was a great play. Headsy play by the veteran Claude Giroux.
Yeah, I kind of was not paying attention because I'm still receiving texts about the technical difficulties. But, however, I think we're all good here. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Look, he has an absolute cannon. I think everyone knows that. But at the end of the day, this is always goes back to the problems with this Leafs team. I mean, they can't get a save when they need a save, and they're going to need to rely on their stars here to now get another one.
Yeah, I just think that's probably one that Woll likes to have back. But again, that's a tough play for a goaltender, especially a bang play, bang shrimp, as I like to call it. That was a great play, a little spicy aioli on that. So nice little play by Ottawa, and they're playing for their lives, man. You can tell that this game truly means something to them, and not that every game doesn't, but you can tell they can feel the fire, and these guys are buzzing. Stützle's got the K tape on his neck. Holy jumping.
Jesus Christ!
He sleep on a rock last night, or what's going on there? Jiminy Christmas, Stützle, fella, get the Tempur-Pedic out, get a little tug, fella.
All right, we're going to take it to the chat. We are in a commercial break of the game. And, of course, we are watching the Toronto game. And Senators in town to take Toronto. We're going to go to the – do you think Matthews has an insurance policy on that dirty little stash? And if so, how much is to pay out if his barber accidentally ruins it and has to shave it off? I don't think that people go to the barber for their mustache, do they?
The way that thing is groomed and tailored, I wouldn't be shocked if he's got a guy coming over, maybe once a week just to trim the trees, trim the bushes a little bit, maybe even the George W. Bush downstairs.
Or the Reggie.
Or the Reggie, yes. Reggie, George, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I think he's probably, tailoring that thing or keeping that thing high and tight himself. But you never know. You might have a mustache guy. You never know.
Yeah, you never really know. I wouldn't know, really. I'm not really a muzzy guy, but I know for the Movember cause, a lot of guys are growing that fucking thing out.
Yeah, and he's always had a good duster, especially this time of year. He always does it for a good cause. So, yeah, he's got that nice little duster there, and he keeps it high and tight.
We kind of already talked about the Oilers, but the Oilers blow it all up tomorrow if they lose to the Sharks. I mean, they're going to do something. We just don't really know, Swish, what the hell they're going to do.
Yeah, like we talked about, I think it's hard to fire every player in the team, and the guys that are underperforming, it's a very easier route to get rid of the coach. And I think tomorrow, if they lose that game, Kenny Holland's got to take a hard look. I think a shakeup sometimes, even though the coach, it's not warranted because he's had such a, in his young career, a really good start there. I mean, his win percentage is over 650. It's just sometimes when you're expected to win the cup and you have those star players, the panic button, it hits a little earlier. And, the coach is unfortunately the first guy to go.
Yeah, definitely. Cooch, over or under 50 goals this season?
I mean, he's unbelievable, this guy. Like, talk about a half-wall specialist. He's got no pulse over there. I could see, I'm going to go, if he stays healthy, because he's Johnny ITLI, right? He's always on the long-term injured reserve. But if he can stay healthy, I think that's a guy that him and Point are going to challenge for 50 goals because he is that nasty. Man, is he sick. He's just straight filthy over there on that half-wall.
All right, we're back in the game. 5:04 remaining in the second. If you're tuning along with us, we have the big boys on the ice. Matthews, Marner, TJ Broski, Nyes going, and they're working the puck in their own zone as Matthews gets it and sends it across to Riley, who misses it but gets the puck out of the zone.
Yep, and I mean, TJ Broski, the human clock killer, as we call him. This game, man, though, like we said, it's tight checking. There's 4:40 and counting to play. I think right now, especially in the last 5 minutes, these guys, you don't want to make a mistake. You want to play, from the dots out. So I think right now, if either team could get one late here, man, that's a lot of momentum going into the third period. It's a very tight checking game, and it's actually been really entertaining to watch, despite us absolutely grinding the mic situation, folks. As Willie Stiles makes his way to the middle of the ice. Oh my God, is that a sick shot? That was exactly the same spot labeled that he scored the first period with that little connector and in.
I mean, if you're him, you got to take that shot. Obviously, high slot. You're square to the goalie. But Korpisalo did a good job here.
But you can see that play on the wall there by Bertuzzi. Just a little subtle play. He invites the check in. He soaks a little bit of a hit and then kind of makes a slip play or a little more space to create for William Nylander to slide into the middle of the ice and kind of taking two guys to him. And Wild Bill gets that nice opportunity.
Ooh, good shot. Low off the pad. Good forecheck by whoever that was. Good little hit there. Tavares, student of the game, John Tavares, posted up in front.
Giordano's pizza is absolutely buzzing tonight. I mean, he is pinching like he's 24 years old, like he's playing in Omaha in the American Hockey League. As Willie Stiles takes it to the net, man, his feet look quick.
Look at the way he stopped on that puck too.
Just
unreal.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I mean, what do you pay? We talked about it last week, and I just think every day William Nylander plays, his price goes up in terms of his AAV on a 7 or 8 year deal. I mean, I think he's challenging for $11 million on the open market. Now, what can Toronto afford to pay him, and what is he willing to take? Is he willing to take something under $10 million? Stiles, to me, I don't think so, man. I think he, in every right, he's a $10 million player, and I don't know if you have to keep Marner or him. Like, who are you picking at this point? Because it's closer than a lot, would say.
Honestly, I think if you're Toronto, you kick back money to Sherwood under the table, and you have Sherwood pay him more to use Sherwood gloves and Sherwood stick. Wait, is he using Sherwood gloves?
I think he is. Yep. Yeah.
So what you do is you illegally kick money back off the books to Sherwood, have Sherwood pay him more in his contract, and this way you keep him around in Toronto. He still has his money. He's still making his money. It's just not on the books. Totally illegal in my book.
Right. Paying him off the books, maybe offering him maybe even a little equity in MLSE, the team that owns Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. Maybe just trying any way you can to have him take a lower number, or maybe, say down the road, you kind of throw him on Lou Island. Remember, Lou Lamoriello is always infamous for, putting guys on LTIR or just kind of massaging the books any way you can. Shout out to Lou Lamoriello. What a gangster. Love that guy.
That'd be insane if they gave somebody ownership of the team. I'm sure there's rules that prevent that though.
Oh, for sure. Folks, there's 3:10 and counting here as JBD, aka Jacob Bernard Docker, makes a nice little play to his, the kid that he went to college with, Jake Sanderson at North Dakota. Brady Tkachuk slides it over to Drake Batherson. He misses that pass. Mitchie Marner laying the wood to him. A little bit of a finished hit from Mitchie Sheets. Matty Nyes streaking down the wall. Mehdi Knives is a guy that I think is going to be a really good player. I mean, that's not really a big of a hot take, but I just think he can kind of play any way you want him to play. He can play on the first line. He can check. He's really fast. He seems like a guy that could even, work his way into a high-end, penalty kill role. I think he's a very good player. It'll be interesting to see how he kind of develops, especially now playing on this first line with the big boys.
Yeah, definitely. He's got some size to him too, which I like. As the big boys are cycling the puck around, they're going to need a goal here. Tie it up right before the period would be huge. But if you're Ottawa, you don't want to let that last goal in, or everyone knows the rules. First minute, last minute of the period.
I mean, you learn that. That's a tale's oldest time. You learn that from Pee Wee on, where you don't want to get tucked on in those minutes, and especially, just making your way. If you're Ottawa here, like you need this win, and like, oh my God, who hammered him?
Yeah, that was a good hit.
That was a nice hit. Was that Mitchie Marner was involved in that hit a little bit?
Not having the volume on throws me off. I hate it.
I know it's not perfect. You need a little bit of sound, and maybe we try it next period. But
yeah, let's try it next period.
It was I was getting echoing. Oh, Ryan Reeves as he's trying to make his mark on his 6 to 8 minutes he's going to play tonight. Revo, man, I just wish there was more guys in the league that would answer the bell so he could have more of an impact, right? Like there's only a select few guys that are going to willing to fight him, and Ottawa, even though this is the Battle of Ontario, there's not a whole lot of guys I don't think that would step up to the plate, rightfully so, against a guy like Revo.
Yeah, I mean, also, just like it's not worth getting hurt, and guys know, like, why am I going to miss? I'm going to put myself in a mismatch like that and potentially get hurt? Guys like Adam McQuaid aren't in the league anymore, where there's like a bunch of selection to choose from for Reeves. So kind of a big fish in a small pond when it comes to the fighting game. But I think they need to take checking and fighting out the league. It's just getting way too physical, and it's just mean spirited. I think it should be no check, no fighting.
Fighting, the old Bruce Buffer.
Can you imagine if they said checking's gonna be out of the game? Like,
yeah, you can't hit. There's
so many people would have a heart attack.
Oh my God, it'd be powder puff.
I would.
What would you do if you're a USHL fan watching a game in Sioux City, Iowa? Like that's all you go to the rink for, right? You want hits, fights, chucking, ducking, and fucking. Folks, we got 29 seconds left here in the second frame. The Ottawa Senators leading the Toronto Maple Leafs, the home team, 3-2. Honestly, I think, Rob, it's been a pretty even game. I don't think it's a one-goal game. I think it's, this is neck and neck right now. I think this is still anyone's game. Worst lead in hockey is obviously 2, but this is a one-goal game. I think Toronto, I mean, I hate to say it, I think probably next goal wins as we go into the third period, but what the fuck do we know? We're a couple assholes sit on the couch here in Scottsdale working out technical difficulties the best we can.
Yeah, they just said that Hito, throw away the mic and get a real one. This is actually a really expensive mic, so I'm not sure what's going on, actually. Like, this is a really good mic. This is what we use for wet jeans. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
This same type of mic. I don't know. Starts fine for a while and then starts to cut out. Yeah, maybe it's the cable. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me fix something. It's really throwing me off my game. That was pissing me off.
Jackie Furta says it sounds okay, Rob. So I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know. We'll work our best to solve that issue. But folks, if you're in the chat, if you're tuning in, did you tweet out for the second period?
Yeah, I did really late though.
Okay. Folks, if you're tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. Ask us any questions for the Heat Daddy, for yours truly, Jay Swish. Whatever the hell comes to your mind, go no filter. Take your fucking wrench out and ask us whatever the hell you want, because we're just two assholes sitting on the couch here in North Scottsdale as a part of Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Watch you always bite, Heat Daddy, and Butter Golf.
Shout out to Melissa, who says sounds fine. It's good to see the ladies are entering the chat. Who says we have 100% male demographic? The sponsors can go fuck themselves. That's absolutely not true. Can somebody please tell me, for the love of Jesus and the Mother Mary, that my mic sounds fine? Please.
Folks, 1 2 1 2. George Costanza, yes, fella. Take your fucking hose out, get the wrench out, and just ask us whatever the hell you want. That is the open door policy we need over here at Hockey Night in Scottsdale.
Hockey Night in Scottsdale, presented by Butter Golf, presented by... Does not sound fine when you yell into it. Bit of an echo going. Oh my God, dude, what the fuck? Presented by Wet Jeans. New episode of Wet Jeans is out, folks, as of today on audio and last night on YouTube. Also presented by Heat Daddy merch and presented by, I'm throwing my microphone off the goddamn balcony. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, Rob, but we'll figure that out.
We have to figure that out before tomorrow.
Robo, my boy's backup. Thanks for your time in St. Louis, Jordan. Brother, it was short-lived. I made the team out of camp. That was probably my biggest accomplishment. Actually, the year they won the cup, I got sent down halfway through the year, but was able to play 20 games from that year and about 20 to 40 more, just in total. A lot of healthy scratches, watching from the press box. So maybe that's kind of where I started to learn the game because I clearly couldn't play it, Rob. But thanks, dude. Appreciate it. We are live here in Scottsdale from the couch. Yours truly, Rob Gucci and Jay Swish. Folks, ask us whatever the fuck you want. Pierre McGuire. Maltz, how was your time in Toronto while playing for the Marlies? Man, it was honestly great. I mean, I was that year before I got traded from St. Louis to the Maple Leafs, had a nice little backdoor meeting with Kyle Dubas after he traded for me. And he was an awesome guy. I thought he kind of brought me in. He's like, look, Jay Swish, you got a chance to maybe compete for a 5, 6, 7, 8 job up top. It's yours to lose. And if you don't, you're going to go down to the jungle, to the Marlies. And yeah, that was it. It didn't work out in my favor, but I had a great time. We had a great veteran team with the Marlies, guys like Garrett Wilson, who's still playing, Kenny Agostino, Rich Kloon was an awesome guy. And then their younger players, Rasmus Sandin, Timothy Liljegren, Pierre Engvall, the Giraffe. All these guys, I got to see them really develop and hone their skills. So I have nothing but good things to say about the city of Toronto, Maple Leafs, Marlies. Shout out to their radio player, Scott Crocker. That guy likes to catch a buzz. Fuck, he loves a stiff whiskey. What a beauty.
Yeah, I mean, like before my mic shit, I think it's still shit, but hey, at least we made it, dude. I mean, look at my absolutely garbage career. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible to even set foot on ice in the best world stats. It's like 1%. So that's pretty cool.
Yep, stepping on the league, cup of Joe. Now we're sitting on the couch. Is Tyler Bozak a beautician or what? Tyler Bozak, the pride of Regina Sask. Why, you ask? Yes. Full beauty. Great team guy. Won a mug with the Blues. Was a big part of that third line there at the center ice position. Good penalty killer. Played on the second power play. Actually lives in Scottsdale now, Rob. Kind of think he's just kind of hanging out. He's a great stick on the golf course. Believe he plays at plus or minus a scratch handicap. So, yeah, he was an awesome teammate. He was beloved by guys in St. Louis. I was fortunate to spend a little bit of time with him. So, always in a good mood, always smiling. Love to play a game of cards. Tyler Bozak, the pride of Saskatchewan, and also a former Denver Pioneer.
Yeah, I don't know him, but I've heard he's a really good guy.
Yeah, good chin. Throws right. Doesn't throw both, but good chin. Will Matthews break 700 goals? I don't even know what he's at
700?
right now.
Oh, career goals.
Yeah, he'll get over 700 for sure. I think if he's able to stay healthy. I mean, it's crazy what that guy did last year with one wrist. I mean, he scored 40 goals. He couldn't even tug on his left side. All rub, no tug for him. But this year, you see what he's doing. I mean, can he stay at a goal at a game pace? I think he's going to have one of those years where he puts up 70-plus goals, and this might just be the year to do it. He's truly unbelievable, a guy that, hangs out here in Scottsdale. So anytime I've been on the ice with him in terms of a practice, in years past or whatever it was, you just tell like he literally scores every chance he gets. Doesn't matter who the goalie is.
I've skated with him a few times, man, and he's fucking huge out there and just has every single component to the game that you need, and so strong in his stick. And he actually played in one of my men's leagues games. It was so fucking funny, dude. We were down 6-0 and he was playing defense. Like, he was fucking around, and he's like, all right, I've had enough of this. Got on offense, just completely dominated, brought us back. I think it was 6-5. And our goalie was an absolute sieve, like couldn't save anything. The guy was like 85 years old. And I think we ended up losing, but it was funny. He just literally said, all right, like, I've had enough. And then I think he scored all 5.
He probably did. The drive for 5. Just 5 right in your jaw. Thanks for coming, boys.
And all the guys on the other team, I actually had to text the other men's league team. I was like, hey, is it going to be cool with you guys if Matthews played? And this pickle texts me back. He goes, oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, let me ask the boys. What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, like
it'd be legendary for him to play in the game. Like, shut up.
You're acting like it's like you're mad because it's unfair. Like, dude, relax. We got a perennial all-star out here. Like, just be happy you're on the same sheet as him. and don't fucking hit him or take a high sticking penalty because he'll never come back.
Yeah, he's just different on the ice, man. I remember he was skating on the ice when I was playing in a skate with all the guys. I was easily the worst guy on the rink. This is probably like 2 or 3 years ago. And it was a skate for all the summer guys that are in the jungle, a couple NHL guys in there, a couple Euro guys in there, a couple NCAA D1 guys. And he was skating down the rink, and I was playing D, and he whacked my stick so hard before I could even decide what to do, and he just flew right by me. I'm like, that was insane. The amount of G-force on the stick whack was just insane. And then that's when I learned I got to start doing that. You know that play when you hit their stick?
Yeah, you hit their stick. Yeah,
I think it's so sick.
I mean, it's just such a heads up, heady play that all good players with a good computer with a brain are able to do at a high speed because they're like, get the fuck out of here. They give you a little bat and like, okay, and then they're like distracted and now they're just down the sheet and you have no idea what's going on.
They get ahead and they whack your stick out of the way so to clear the lane for them to go. And oh my God, more microphone comments. Jesus Christ. I have a great microphone. This is such an expensive mic too. It might be the cable that's fucked, so I'll get a new one for tomorrow. But no, this is a good microphone. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's infuriating. I'm so mad. This is ruining the whole fucking stream. Not really gonna give you good vibes, but holy fuck.
Stay with it, Gooch. We'll be all right.
What is going on?
Folks, any other questions? What do we have going? What do we got going tonight? It is obviously Wednesday night, hockey night in Scottsdale, brought to you always by the boys over here, Rob Gucci, a.k.a. the Heat Daddy, and yours truly, Jay Swish.
I don't get why it's fucking echoing, dude.
Favorite city? Are we talking favorite city of all time, my boy backup, or just favorite city to snap it? I would say my favorite city to tie one on, other than Scottsdale where we live. I mean, you got to get Vegas in there. Toronto's obviously great for a night. New York City. Man, there's a lot of good places. Nashville, I would say Nashville maybe. Good trim, live music, a lot of bachelorette parties. I mean, it's tough to beat a city like Nashville. You know, it's I think I'm going right on the Broadway, you know, getting to Tootsie's, getting to the top deck at Kid Rock, seeing what happens. Those spots are always great.
Testing. I'm on text right now. For people that think I'm just texting, I'm not texting. I'm with an audio engineer, certified audio engineer. I don't know if they're certified, but I'm with a professional who's trying to help me out here and get through this situation that we have going on. Hopefully we can come back for the third and have my microphone not be echoing. I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Sounds perfect right now, he says.
Literally perfect. It has to be the cable.
It's got to be the cable.
Because I keep moving the cable.
Yep. Cable Jones is got to get that figured out. But Nashville over Vegas, man, I think just for bang for your buck, like unless you got, you know, sheets out the ass, right? If you got dough to spend, your doughboy fresh. Yeah, I like Nashville because it's bucket of beers. It's fireball shots. It's girls that you can have a conversation with. You're not in the club at Hakkasan with volume 3000 on and you got the fucking earmuffs because you can't say anything. You're in a group chat trying to text each other because the music is so loud and the phone machine's going, the smog's over here, and you're all goofed up on Mountain Dew and Disco Biscuits. Yeah, I would say Nashville edges it because there's nothing better than a matinee listening to some live tunes, country music. It just has that good vibe, you know?
I guess I have to freeze like this for the rest of the broadcast and just my neck's going to be hurting tomorrow, but.
Yeah, you're going to go hot packing a perk tomorrow and you'll be all right. Battle up.
I guess I got to get a new XL whatever cable, but yeah, hopefully I could just stay like this. And
sounds better now. Miles Dennis says.
I want to sit back really bad, but I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, you can't go Fat Joe. You got to stay with it. You just gotta.
I have to. This is a crippling position right now. Look at my arm. I can't feel my arm. It's numb.
Yep, we're gonna have to get you a pack of peas and, like I said, a pack of smokes and maybe a Percocet. Folks, if you have a Percocet dealer for Bob Gucci, he's gonna be playing hurt tomorrow. He's gonna have to ice his shoulder. He might even need Tommy John's. We'll see. He's got the cold shoulder going on right now. But anyways, we have about 5 minutes left in this intermission. Any more questions? Actually, the chat's been great tonight. I love these questions. Great. People are, asking really knowledgeable questions, and I also like the stupid ones too. So, but even just informational. Where's your favorite city to go? What do you like to do? What's your kill count? I don't know. Ask me whatever. I'm an open book. I will answer it to the best of my abilities, and so will Rob. Slap on some KT tape.
I
Yeah,
gotta
for
sit
sure.
back. My back's killing me. All right, folks, we're gonna go through. I'm gonna try to transition. 2023 is all about
How the
transitioning.
fuck are the Bruins still blasting this many chins with the loss of Berg and Krejci over the offseason? Is it pure rage over their playoff exit? Yeah, I think so. And I also just think that organization is so goddamn nails where they can lose a couple pieces of the puzzle and still be able to repeat just based on their culture. I mean, Brad Marchand has been there for 13 or 14 years. He's won a mug. I think a sneaky pickup is bringing in a guy like Milan Lucic, who also won there in 2011. He's a very big culture driver. He sets the tone, especially with his work ethic. And these are guys that are not scared to have fun off the ice, too. I think that's a big thing missing in today's game with a lot of the younger players is like, you can't be scared to have a couple on the road. You know, you don't got to go out there and get shit-faced, but these dinners, the camaraderie, having a couple bottles of wine, getting up in the morning, sweating it out at morning skate, and then, winning at night. I think they just added a lot of good veterans, JVR, Kevin Shattenkirk. And then they obviously have a very good decor where that can be the head of the snake. And, also with a Vezina goalie, I mean, they're getting scoring. They're getting it both ways. I just think that coach, too, Montgomery, he's a full-time beauty. Yeah, a lot of good vibes there. I think that's just a great organization.
I'm 5'4". What's the chance I die from a check into the boards? Never played hockey. Always wanted to try. Nah, man, you'll be fine. I mean, it's not really about how tall you are absorbing a hit. You just kind of have to know how to absorb a hit, be aware of your surroundings, keep your head on a swivel. I don't think so, man. I don't think you would die. It's all about, actually, Switch, good point. It is kind of a skill to learn how to take a hit and learn how to get out of the way when you're putting yourself in bad positions. Sometimes guys get hurt more than others. Sometimes it's genetic, and sometimes it's because they don't stretch and they don't work out. But also, sometimes it's because they put themselves in bad positions. And if my mic isn't working right now, I'm going to never do this again. Not true, but what do you think about that? Guys putting themselves in bad positions.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I look at a guy even last night when I was boots on the ground at Muller Arena watching the Coyotes, a young player like Logan Cooley. He's a guy that needs to learn who's on the ice, when they're out there, situational, because I watched him play against Winnipeg in the matinee on Saturday. He gets blown up by Dylan. And then last night, that Oleksiak really took advantage of him with a high hit in the corner. I just think you have to know it's all situational. You got to know who's on the ice, where they're at, and then put yourself not in a bad spot to really get lit up because, man, especially at the National League level, some of these defensemen, they're fucking massive.
Yeah, definitely. No, my phone's not on. The echo's back, but I didn't fucking do anything. For fuck's sake.
Swish, do you always keep your chin tucked when you leave the house? Man, I like to keep my chin under the collar, if you know what I mean. So if you're looking at the live stream, like I'm walking out of the house, I got my head on a goddamn swivel and my chin is under my shirt because that thing should always be tucked. Rule number 1042, never leave your chin exposed. That's at the bar, leaving your house, driving. Always keep the chin locked.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. My phone speaker's not on.
Yeah, it just says it's coming and going. I mean, fuck. Bob Seger against the wind over here. When beers cost $13 at the rink, what's the right amount to have before and at the game on a budget? Well, listen. Are you drinking at home before the game? If you are, I think you should be borderline puking walking into the arena. I'm talking 10 to 12 tall boys. That way, when you get to the rink, you get to your seats, you can sober up for a little bit, and then you start Donald driving the vodka in you. So that vodka might be a little bit more, especially if you're getting a double. Then you can probably get away with one double a period. So that's going to be about, all in for MSRP, about $22 to $24. You have 3 of those. So now you're looking at $60. I think that would probably be the play. Now, I've only had a couple thousand beers in my life, but that would be my thing. Borderline almost blacked out, not really blacked out, but right in the pocket of about 10 drinks, and then get to the arena a little early, try to sober up, and then you can get away with about 1 a period. And if that has to be a double, well, that's on you. Maybe you're a piss tank. Am I legally obligated to swing at someone who leaves their chin out in public? Pinto's Bookie. First of all, Parlay Pinto, I love that username. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sitting here as a guy saying you should be swinging at chins just, unconsciously. But if someone has their chin untucked and they say something you don't like and you have your fight strap on, I think you have that right ready to go and maybe a left lined up just in case something goes on. I think your chin should always be tucked at the bar no matter what. You should always have your right or left a little clenched because you never know. Head on a goddamn swivel out there, boys. There's some fucking crazy assholes.
Oh, fuck. He said, don't move.
Bob Gucci, do not move.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. My tailbone can't handle this kind of turbulence right now. This is going to not be okay, but it has to be. I don't want to harp on it anymore, but it has to be the cable at this point.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a cable issue here, folks. Gucci battling in the trenches, not even a lower body or upper body injury. Folks, we're talking an extremity, just a cable. So we'll be able to figure that out. We need Gucci flooring it tomorrow. This is just a warm-up, guys. We got a back-to-back anyways. Got a home and home this weekend or this week. Biz Nasty coming on the call tomorrow. Hockey night in Scottsdale, Rob. We try to do it once or twice a week. And yeah, we'll get it figured out.
Dude, I got to learn how to manage my voice because between Heat Daddy Show, between Wet Jeans, it's a lot of talking. And between going on other shows, like today or yesterday, I went on. My throat is acting up, so I gotta call Albert, Albsy a kid. How the hell do you manage your voice? Because
isn't it funny you were saying that? Because remember last week I was battling that, and you're like, I normally have a pretty good voice.
That's what I was saying. This week it hit.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. I'm telling you, I battled that for a couple of weeks. I was like, I don't know if I'm built or cut for this job.
We got to get voice coaches or something. I know because I have this, and then tomorrow we record Wet Jeans, and then after Wet Jeans, I have this again with Biz. And it's at some point I'm gonna need to get a new room massage, have some Asian chick just sit on my throat.
Are you feeling it on the outside of your neck a little bit?
No, I think on the inside, it's down here.
Yeah, I know. I was battling that last week, and I was at a Coyotes game where I would normally talk a lot. I'm like, guys, I'm not talking to you because I need to save my voice. Day drinking or night drinking, dude. Nothing better than a matinee. I'm telling you right now. You get on the piss early. It's a nice day out. Typically in the summer, you get a bucket of Coronas. Talk about finding your beach, stepping on the goddamn gas pedal, and just going until you can't see anymore. Throwing both ways, chin tucked. Then you get on the gas, maybe a little fireball, whatever it is. Yeah, there's nothing better than a matinee. Just go until you drop. Usually home before midnight, especially if you start at noon. That's a solid, respectable 12-hour shift. But if you don't have any PEDs in you, I don't use PEDs. So all natural, right on the piss. There's nothing better. Just a good old-fashioned piss up. Folks, aside from that, we are back to actual hockey. 3-2, the Ottawa Senators lead the Toronto Maple Leafs live from Scotiabank Arena in beautiful downtown TO. 1909 to play in the third period. We are back. Folks, tomorrow night we'll be streaming the Man Jose Sharks at home versus the Edmonton Oilers. Oil Country is on high alert. Sent down Jack Campbell today to the jungle. That was yesterday, I believe. But anyways, Paul Bissonnette from TNT joining us tomorrow. That's going to be a hell of a show. So back here in Toronto, though, 3-2, the Ottawa Senators lead the Maple Leafs. Got a great little game here. Bob Gucci still battling technical difficulties, but we're doing okay.
Yeah, you sound great. I actually pulled the stream up on Twitter, and I don't know how I sound.
Folks, Max Domi is another player I would key on in terms of Dave Keon, in terms of, finding his way through the Maple Leafs lineup. He's kind of played with an array of line mates, like we talked about Bertuzzi earlier in the show. It's always hard coming into a new team, especially if you kind of bounced around the last few years. You're always trying to find that cohesiveness, trying to find your niche. So he's another guy that I think is a really good player, but the Maple Leafs do play a unique style of hockey. Talked about it a little bit, I think it was last week or maybe the week before, of how they always play that really high puck possession, high octane offense where it's very controlled. They like to regroup a lot, similar to playing the puck back in terms of bringing it back into their own zone or even neutral zone like a soccer team. So kind of really trying to control the game versus going, just straight north. So Max Domi's another guy. Keep your eyes on. I think he can find his role there. Just going to take a little bit of time.
And we have Chikrin on the ice for a 2-minute shift here. 17:21 remaining in the third. I'm working with a wounded microphone here as the Sens work it around. And near the PointsBet logo, shout out Shane Pinto. We have a 3-2 game.
Oh my God, someone's down there for the count. Looks like
who just got bundied.
Johnny Tavares lost his footing. It looked like he took a shoulder or something, but he popped right back up and he's on the sheet still. So we'll monitor that as we go into the final frame here. Folks, 16:50 and counting as Tyler Clevin rounds the net with the puck, number 43, back inserted to the Ottawa Senators lineup. Good kid from Fargo, North Dakota. Played at the University of North Dakota for 2 seasons. Looks pretty comfortable behind the net there.
Yeah, it's fine right now, but I'm also close to the laptop as let's put on the volume. I don't think it matters.
No?
No. It's something to do with my XLR cable, and I'm going to have to go to the Guitar Center tomorrow and be like, look, fellas, I'm starting a band. I need the best XLR cable you have. And my laptop now approaches low battery, folks. Holy shit. Oh, Matthews.
Poppy almost with that anytime winner. I still need him to tuck tonight, folks, at 34 with an anytime goal. Even though he has about a goal a game, I think he's going to stay hot and get on the board.
Oh, was that a hit or did he fall?
I kind of just fell, lost his edging.
Rob is a mess tonight. Absolutely right. This is insane, dude.
Tyler Clevin plays the puck back to Claude Giroux as Claude finds Matthew Joseph streaking up the middle of the ice and gets a decent look as he throws a backhander at Wall, tries to beat him right under the wickets of the 5-hole. He was denied by the St. Louis native. 1998 born Joseph Wall, played at the U.S. program, Boston College. Actually spent a little time with that young fella his rookie year in Toronto. Thought he'd be a good netminder, just had that good cerebral approach to the game, never really too high, never too low. Did that really study the game, and, well, I think he's going to grow into a role there. It might just take some time.
All right, if you're Toronto, you got to get going here.
If you're Toronto, you got to get going. And Isaac Pedersen, I fucking love Hockey Night in Scottsdale, dude. Thank you so much. We appreciate that as we are watching really tentatively here as Gucci. I don't even know if tentatively is the right word there. Probably not, but good job, Jordan. Anyways, Jake Sanderson rounds his own cage. And we appreciate you for watching, brother. 14 and change left in the final frame here. Last whistle. Wow. It's been over 5 minutes. These guys are playing like they don't want to go to a TV commercial or break. I would like to see William Nylander get another one tonight. I think he's absolutely buzzing. Riding the subway to the game. I mean, just a man of the people. I love that on a Wild Bill. Tavares, need a little bit more grit from him. I'm not going to lie. As my captain, Rob, I just need a little more bite. I like his game. Just a little more jam, a little more fuck you. Is that crazy to say?
You know what's crazy? No, I don't think it's crazy. Eric Richards brings up a great point in the chat. The Leafs lose the crowd like 6 times a game. That is so true. Like, they have to battle to get the crowd on their side. It's like if the crowd was pumping the whole time, like maybe the boys would have a little bit more jump in their step. I don't know. I've never played in the league, but it is a good point that he makes that this Leafs crowd is in and out, full in and out burger, double grilled onions with animal fries. Well done. But yeah.
Oh my
God.
God.
What the fuck am I even talking about? As Morgan Riley gets the puck deep.
Double, McDouble, missionary, whatever it is. But yeah, I agree. I think that these guys, like we talked about earlier, it's hard to get that lower bowl engaged because it's a sushi club. I mean, I think that can we get the common man seats down low? Now, financially, probably not because those tickets are so steep, but I think they get one goal here. They'll get back into it, especially if it's 34. I think we'll see another bra on the ice. I'd love to see Nukes out at the Scotiabank Arena. There's nothing better than a good set on display for the fellas on the bench. I think that's just great vibes.
Love a big set of Hooters. I actually tweeted last year. We had a titty alert, and a girl was like, "Oh my God, stop sexualizing that girl behind the bench." What do you mean? Titty first, that's a sexual organ, tits, and as Domi brings in good stuff. Oh!
Man, we were just talking about Domi and how he's got to find his role. What a saucer pass to the inserted
Oh
Nick
my
Robertson.
God, a full meat lovers 24-inch thin crust garlic crust pizza.
Oh my God. What do you call that Jersey Mike sub? You get the Italian extra wet. What is it? What do you get there, Rob? Oh my
Mike's
God.
Way. When I'm with your girl,
Mike's
it's always Mike's Way.
Oh
It's wet.
Twisted
Chip right
blister,
there.
Master blaster, only jumping, as Darren Pang would say. My God. What a saucer pass, and what a he doesn't even let the saucer pass get down to the ice. He bats it out of midair a little bit. Just it's kind of on edge, and he just tickles that thing right to the back bar, right where grandma hides the cough syrup, where you catch a buzz when you're 12 years
Oh my
old.
God. That's right where grandma hides the black dildo. Just kidding. Not bringing color into it. But what a pass. I mean, especially for the player to go down. The timing of that. Absolute UFO has been cited.
That was such
What a play. We have a tie hockey
nasty pass by Domi, and an even better finish by Robertson. I mean, if you're Robertson tonight, download the Hinge app, fella. You're back in Toronto. You're playing for the big boys. I mean, you're not getting laid after that on King Street. I think you might be a virgin. But anyways, back to you, Kenny.
Dong F. Kennedy, I think it says, or Dang said, "Heat Daddy, will you condemn Hamas? Yeah, can you guys stop being bad people? Everyone, just don't be an asshole." But anyway, back to the game here. 50 shot attempts for the Leafs tonight, 38 for the Senators. We have a 3-3 hockey game with 11:36 remaining in the great city of Toronto.
Yep, and I said it before we went to the third period break there. After the second intermission, I thought the next goal would win this game, so I'm going to ride the Buds, whether that happens in OT or regulation. I just think this game, man, it's neck and neck. This is the best game we've sat down for. Too bad for the goddamn mics not working out, but this game's been a hell of a match, man, and I've had a lot of fun actually watching this game. Oh my God, nice tucking a chin right there. That was Stutzel. He kind of just gave a little shoulder, how you doing on the backside. It's crazy to say, like, Matthews can come over the blue line and he could honestly score from wherever.
Yeah,
like, it's actually crazy.
So lethal.
I mean, I know we love him because he's just a friend of the show, but like the guy is so sick.
Good. Leafs are buzzing now.
Yeah, they look good. I think Ottawa's a little bit on their heels clearly after that goal. Domi igniting the crowd. Domi, man, I just think that would be so holy dancing on my own. Whitney Houston. Oh my God. A little Robin from Timmy Stutz on the K tape on the back of his neck.
That's such an aggressive place to have the tape. Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, I don't know if he slept on it weird or,
can we get
wrong Cairo?
Can we get a Dallas bench big titties girl on the bench? You know what's funny is every time I tweet, like, where's the Dallas big titties girl? She comes out of the woodwork and she doesn't follow me. So I don't know how she sees the tweet. Obviously somebody is sending it to her. But she comes out of the woodwork and she's just like, LOL. So shout out to the girl with absolutely gigantic boulders on the glass at American Trade Center or whatever.
My Deion Sanders Boulders, Colorado. Those were bombs, fella.
Yeah,
talk about nukes.
Talk about titties.
And I don't think that's an all-natural grass-fed set. But hey, if you can pay for them, you get a little silicone. Who's to say, who doesn't like a good set, especially sitting right behind the coach? I mean, that's just good, clean fun, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if they're stapled on like a homework packet. I mean, at the end of the day, titties are titties. And,
Tim Stapleton.
Staples Center.
Staples, that was easy.
Ooh, that was easy. You ever seen that Button?
Craig Button.
Oh, Benjamin Button?
Who's another Button? I don't know. You got me there. Tampa Bay bolt-ons, anyways. What a set. Sitting behind the bench, folks. Yeah, we'll take a question here. If anyone wants to fire one quick, we are live from Scottsdale, Arizona.
I think my mic's fine, too. No one said anything.
Yeah, it only took us about an hour and a half to get to that point. Folks, thank you for staying with us. Gucci, not his fault. It's the cable's fault. We'll get that figured out for tomorrow as we have Paul Biznasty Bissonette joining the crew right from this very couch. Going live for the Edmonton Oilers, visiting the San Jose Sharks from, beautiful San Jose.
Thinking about wearing a suit tomorrow.
We might go full gear or full Windsor. I'm not sure. We should go full suit.
Should we go full suit? I'll wear a suit.
Full suit.
All right, sick.
We should actually.
Biz is gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Should we tell him or no?
No, I don't think we tell him.
He's like, "What the fuck? You guys didn't tell me? You didn't get the memo?" How funny would it be if Biz goes from suit on the TNT panel to suit on your couch? Though? Like that would be all time as the puck drops in Toronto.
We should tell him we're going full suit. Actually, I don't know. It might be funnier if we don't. He just shows up.
Yeah.
He's like in regular
Sweat.
gym attire. And we got full suit, full Windsor on. That'd be unbelievable.
I think I'm gonna go full suit and bass shades.
I like that. I might go full suit from the top and then just like shorts.
That would actually be fucking nail gun city.
Yeah. And then like go outside for a walk before we go on air just so people can see it. Like actual civilians.
I'm gonna have to walk in here with a fucking suit on.
Yeah, that's also hilarious. Sharks over under 15.5 wins this season. Oh my god. Well, I think they're on pace for probably less, but I'm going to say more. I think they're probably, as bad as they are, I think they're probably a 22-win team, and that's not perfect because you're looking at about 60 losses if you factor in a couple ties. So, yeah, I would say they're Vegas odds, and I know nothing about gambling. I've lost thousands of dollars doing it, but I would say 22 would be my marker for wins. If they can get over that, that's a fucking win with that roster.
We got a penalty coming up. Pretty important penalty at this time of the game. I believe Toronto was going to be short-handed here. As TJ, how you doing, broski? And his jet speed CCM twig head to the box. And let's see what happens here. Yep, that's going to be a hook. Maybe a little bit of a dive there by Giroux. Definitely selling it. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's a little bit of what I like to call a muff dive, as Sheldon Keefe is disgusted on the bench, but
selling sunset, if you will.
Yeah, selling sunset. Little southern charm there from Giroux. I don't know. I think the veteran knew what he's doing. He's played over 1,000 matches, and he draws the penalty as Mitchie Marner brings it over the sheet of the logo at center ice. Man, if they get one here, this is a pivotal point. Thanks, Tips. But a late power play in a tie ball game. 9:40 to play. 1:40 on the power play here for the Ottawa Senators. Mitchie Marner corrals the puck, sends it 200 feet, and Jake Sanderson skates leisurely back to get it up the ice for the Ottawa Senators.
How the hell did 40 seconds go by already? I feel like he just got in the box. What the fuck?
No, well, Marner took it up the sheet, and then he corralled it again and sent it down to Kelly Youngcroft.
Odd man rush here.
Why didn't he drag that a little farther? I mean, as a guy sitting from the couch, it's easier to say, but oh my Benoit. What an angle.
Yeah, super aggressive too.
Love that. Chicky Parm at the top of the key here. Who we got on this power play? We got Norris, Stützle, Kachuk, and Batherson. Wow, they actually have like two solid units, man. Tarasenko and Giroux on the other one. Like, this is, it's a pretty good little team. I mean, if they can figure it out, Ottawa, like, they got a good roster.
I'm telling you, dude, they do have a good roster.
They have a good, they got a great roster. They got a good goalie. I think the coach, they like him there. I think it's only a matter of time before these guys can figure it out. I mean, Tarasenko's a great player. He was absolutely labeled. God, can he fire the pill? He just snaps it right off the toe, too. He doesn't even, really lean into it. It's just, he's so big. He uses 85 flex.
Oh, I thought that somehow went in. A little bit of rough stuff there, but Lagesson and Pierre or Joseph.
Joseph. Yeah. P.O. Joseph is his brother, the guy that plays in Pittsburgh. Jake Sanderson with a hell of a duster, by the way. My God. If he dragged this a little farther, Youngcroft. Good stick, though, I guess.
Play.
Good stick.
That's why they pay him the big bucks right there.
Swish, who's your current top 5 in the show? Teams or players, brother? Pinto Parlay, let me know. We got 8:12 here left in the final frame, tied up here at 3. This has been a great hockey game. Boys over here in Scottsdale grinding through it. Man, this is actually entertaining hockey. This has a little bit of an April feel in November, and I don't say that lightly because these teams are really playing.
Oh,
what a dish!
How the fuck did that go in?
Was that Chicky with the dish? Who dished that? That was Chicky.
I think it went off Giordano's skate, but
No, I think he got wood on that, man. I think Chikrin. Do you think that's Chikrin's goal?
Kubalik again?
Did Kubalik pass that? Did it go off his skate? Yeah, you're right, Rob. Yeah, good eye. Giroux selly like he scored.
Yeah, what the hell? That's the most French Canadian thing you could do.
Like, he literally selly like he scored. He put his hand up.
That's French Canadian people for you. No disrespect.
Oh my god, that was funny.
Giordano, at this point, you're gonna have to send him down, put him on waivers for that one. I mean, this is a backbreaker in the season that you just can't have, and I think the Leafs might miss the playoffs here. But all right, more drama unfolds as we have a 4-3 hockey game with 8 minutes remaining. Hopefully my mic's good. I'm still self-conscious about that, dude. It's like I can't focus on the game. I'm like worried about the mic.
I know. I think that this game's 4-3, but I did say the next goal to score if the Leafs were able to tie it up at 3, that was going to be the winner. So I'm standing by it. I think the Leafs are going to get a late one here. I think it might go to overtime. Like I mentioned, in the second period, it just kind of had OT. It smelled like OT. It just was a little stinky. It smelled like bonus hockey. And we'll see if we get to that point. But I would love to see them tie this up because this has been a great match.
Yep, I didn't take the over, but if I... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Tim Stutzel, how are you doing? Neck tape on. Ottawa is so bad.
Yep, and just as I said, Toronto was going to win. Dutzla makes a nasty
over, I mean, there's plenty of time.
I mean, that was certified filth, folks. I mean, that's just yucky. That's gross. That's like puke at 2 a.m. outside of a bar of a pizza place. Gross. That was yucky.
That's just white chick drunk after a couple of tequila shots at the Diplo concert, and they are crying, and their ex-boyfriend, Braden, will not stop hitting them up, and her friend is telling Braden to stop, and she's puking everywhere. Full Diplo concert.
Braden's threatened to fly across the country to come see her, and she's puking out her White Castle. I mean, that was gross. What a dish.
Jimmy Ratlegs in the chat says Leafs folding like a lawn chair. Season is over. Keep shipping to a far Scotian island in exile. Leafs are going to have to pull the goalie here and go full John Cooper and pull him with 5 minutes left. Or actually, rather, Yzerplan does that a lot, pulls the goalie.
Yeah, they're going to have to go
5 left.
It'd be funny if they just went full Continental Hockey League and just pulled them right now. Like the Yzerplan, go Sergei Fedorov, pull them, just whenever.
I mean, this is a important game for the Leafs. Like 4-game win streak. They lose. I mean, they win Tampa though in overtime.
Right, but that was just was almost like their must win, right? Like you do it more than once, Rob. Like you did it for me one time, but like we need to have that consistency. And this is a game that I think that was really riding for them. And there's still time here. I mean, these guys could score 2 goals in 18 seconds. They have that much star power and just firepower up front. But we'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, definitely. I think this one's not over yet, but they're going to have to double shift the big boys, Big Poppy and Marner, and we'll see what happens. But Ottawa, hell of an effort by Ottawa. Jesus Christ. I mean, tic-tac-toe, how are you doing? And as Lagesson moves the puck north, and the third line comes
I like Robinson back out there. He had that goal that, it almost popped over to him.
It's right there.
Domi and Ovio.
Let me tell you something, dude. This third line was buzzing last game, and they're back buzzing tonight. Let's see what happens.
Slide that over to Robinson. Let him one-tee it.
Yeah, that's not it.
Riley trying to Fargo force one over to Kelly Youngcrock. I believe he had Nicky Robertson over there. But yes, anyways, folks, 5:31 to play in the final frame. The Ottawa Senators, the away team, visiting the Toronto Maple Leafs, lead 5-3 over here in Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Rob.
Yep. We're going to be at our last not a commercial, just a Kraken whiskey. I've never had Kraken whiskey or whatever that is. Bourbon.
That's a stiff spiced rum. If you do one, as I always say, the brown might put you down. That stuff is stiff. You should drink that up at North Dakota with negative
Kraken?
40. Oh, God, because it'll get your skin boiling. The only thing is to stay warm.
Yep. Alcohol is indeed a liquid jacket, folks. And we have I thought that somehow went in. Am I blind?
Side of the cage.
If you're Ottawa right now, what are you going to do here, Switch? Just get a deep play, 1-4 hockey, and just grind out the clock, huh?
Yeah, exactly like you said. I don't know if you're really necessarily looking at the clock, but you're keeping everything outside of the middle of the ice. You're making 100% certainty plays. You're not making anything or forcing anything. It's getting that puck below the goal line, making the Maple Leafs skate 200 feet, and that can't happen.
Oh my God!
my Joseph
What the
Woll.
fuck? I looked away for 1 second, and Joseph Stalin is completely out of the cage. What the fuck is going on?
You can't do that, And
we're going to see the gold level seats.
2 goals is reachable with 5 to play. 3 against the rule. This cannot happen.
Oh, man. He didn't even know he was there, did he?
How was no one
That's
talking
tough.
to him? I mean,
just too long, though, right? Like, it's just regardless.
way
Like,
too long. I mean,
even if there's no players around, I mean, at this point in the game, you have to stay in the cage.
But if you saw how he went back for that puck, he didn't look over his left shoulder even when he did have time. So he didn't really know his surroundings. And he kind of got to that puck. By the time he picked up his head, I mean, the buddy was on him. He strip pokers him. I mean, strip poker night, right? It's a tale as old as time. You don't show up to strip poker night naked, right? You got to make him earn it. And you didn't make him earn it.
Yeah, that's a tough play.
Yeah, I mean, this one I think is damn near out of reach as Chychrun sits behind the net. He's had a great game tonight, Chicky.
Yeah, he has. He's
I really liked his game from Ottawa. He's played well. He's played like a number one, especially with Chabot being out. So Chychrun, tip of the cap to you. I thought he's looked good all night. Ottawa, man, this had a Super Bowl feel for him, and they answered the bell, right? But now, can they keep this momentum going? Because I do think they have the roster. In the Leafs, this one stings, man. I mean, I know we're kind of calling it as the game is over, but anytime the fourth line's back on the ice with 4 minutes,
Yeah,
kind of thrown in the white towel.
Yeah, he's given up here, and this is going to be a 45-second of shift of Ryan Reeves kind of trumping around out there, and yeah. Full Donald here.
Full Donald.
And Brady Tkachuk just stood him up. He's a big boy himself, but
yeah, he stood him up like a cab driver, just get out of that car and we ain't paying you.
It's pretty crazy, Swish, how fast that collapse happened. I mean, shit, we had a tie hockey game, it feels like 30 seconds ago. And
yeah, that went down quick. That was not good. And who just got absolutely hammered there? Was that Lagesson? Yeah, it's amazing. They get that one.
I don't know if that's a penalty, man. I mean,
but why is he throwing his body now?
I think they were just fighting for position. No, I'm gonna have to look at it again.
Yeah, I think it's an innocent play, but that is the first hit we've seen all night. And when they're down 6-3 from your captain,
let's see here.
That's kind of soft, anyways.
It's soft, but I agree with you. Is Tavares like, what is he doing right there? But
yeah,
I'm on the couch.
I don't think that's a penalty. I mean, it looks bad, but he's just kind of trying to battle for position. But again, let's see the body a little bit earlier in the game.
Right.
Let's set the tone in the first period, maybe the second, not when it's 6-3 and it's like, okay, we got to show some sort of fight or response. But anyways, we're just a couple assholes sitting on a couch.
43 games combined in the NHL between the two gentlemen on this couch here.
Yeah. Playoff game in there too, folks. How you doing?
What was it like playing in a playoff hockey game? Your first playoff one, was you're like, hey, this is just another game at the barn, or did you think about it? Like, what was the process for you going in?
No, it was nuts, man. I was a game in Minnesota. I'll never forget it. It was a whiteout. It was game 1 of the Central Division. We were the 1 seed. They were the 4 in the Central. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I remember going in that game thinking like, I'm playing on the third pair. I'm probably going to play anywhere from 8 minutes to 15. I think I ended up playing 12, but the game went to double OT, Rob. So I don't play a shift with 10 minutes left in the third period. I don't play a shift until the 10-minute marker of the first OT, and then it goes to second OT, and we get to about the 8-minute marker. So I played like maybe 30 seconds in the last 2 hours.
And at that point, you're so cold.
Rick Wilson, because I was playing in the second power play. We get a power play. He goes, Schmaltzy, you're up. I go, I don't got no icy hot or anything on these legs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got out there and I was skating in quicksand. I was running the drop breakout and double OT, and I couldn't even move. I had one shift in like 2 hours of play. I remember talking to my dad after him, like, did you see me slugging the mail up the sheet? He's like, yeah, you did look. Thank God we were able to win that game. I think Yuri Laterra actually scored the game winner from Tarasenko, so it was all good.
Hell yeah. Folks, can I get one last mic check? I'm probably going to – I have to find a new cable, by the way, that goes USB to my computer. But I just want to see
Just because tomorrow, Jimmy Ratlegs, what are we tipping back tomorrow, boys? I might have a couple Jaeger bombs. I might have just a glass of whiskey, but something in between that. We're not going to be live for the Vegas LA game just because we have to preserve our voices for tomorrow. We both have stuff going on tomorrow that involve talking for hours and hours and hours. Like I said before, the Wet Jeans podcast, Hockey Night in Scottsdale. But I do want to see if my mic. Okay, mic is mint. All right, I don't know what's going on here, Swish. I don't know if the.
Yeah, I think it's just Larry the Cable Guy and the mic gods just I don't know, just kind of serving us up a little bit of fuck you, and we were able to weather the storm. And yeah, I can't wait for the match tomorrow. We will be live again for the San Jose versus Edmonton Oiler game. That is a must-win for the Oil. And we'll be having a special guest on. Paul Biznasty Bissonnette from TNT will be joining us right on this very couch. So, folks, tomorrow, that is 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard, 10:30 if you're on the East Coast. And if you're somewhere in between that, well, you do the goddamn math.
It's pretty funny. Everybody said Mike's good, Mike's good, Mike's mint. And then all of a sudden now it's echoing. And I didn't even move. So this is absolutely insane. Just gutting. But anyway.
Yep. As the Ottawa Senators are just kind of doing the old shot clock, kill the clock. We have 2 minutes and counting left in this game. They're on the power play. 42 seconds on our TV. Yeah. Larry the Cable Guy will get that fixed. We'll get the mics all dialed in. And we're going to have a great night tomorrow night. We'd like to thank everyone for joining in. As always, the questions in the chat have been unbelievable, very knowledgeable, very funny. And we always appreciate the people reaching out and saying, we love Hockey Night in Scottsdale because this is something we pour our heart into. We are for the people, by the people. So that is what it is, baby, as there's 90 seconds left in the final frame here live from Scotiabank Arena as Tim Stützle strips Simon Benoit and kind of throws a little bit of a pizza burger flying saucer style across the middle of the ice. That gets batted down by Nick Robertson, playing his first game as a Maple Leaf tonight, I believe. I'll have to check the stat pack on that one, but did get on the board.
Yeah, and thank you for the comments, Melissa. Appreciate it. Hayden, appreciate it. Yeah, it means a lot, man. I mean, this for you guys to stick with us for literally over 2 hours is pretty incredible. How about the game ending in we started a little bit late, but yeah, we're going to try to do this once a week. Like Swish said, we're pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into this. We're also going to be touring. We have a couple dates coming up that we're going to get finalized so you guys can basically see this version of the show in person, although this in-person experience is a little bit crazier. We have people chugging beers. We got flip cup contests. We have all a bunch of cool shit going on. And you got that live presence. But yeah, thank you guys. Sorry, I don't know what Heat Daddy, do you have any thought? I'm not sure what you're referring to, but thank you, Isaac Pedersen. Thank you, Neeks. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and just to kind of, no pun intended, echo off what the Heat Daddy said, I think we're going to be trying to line up some live shows, some dates, some concrete things in different cities. But as Ryan Reeves is looking for a fight.
But it's too late for that now. The game's over. It's too late.
Why would McEwen put his chin on the line when they're up 6-3 in the dying seconds of a road win? That makes no sense. This is a complete business decision on McEwen's part and a great decision. But anyways, we will be touring. We'll be hitting the road, especially hopefully get one in the Canadian city before the new year. And then after that, we're going guns a-blazing. Buffalo. We're talking maybe Winnipeg, New York City, and maybe even slide into Toronto for the All-Star game. So, folks, again, tomorrow night, we will be live from this very couch with the most powerful man in hockey media right now, Paul Biznasty Bissonnette, friend of the show, friend of the boys. So he will be coming straight from Atlanta, getting on the bird, touching down on the tarmac of Phoenix Sky Harbor, and making his way over here for the Edmonton Oilers visiting the San Jose Sharks. Live from San Jose. That's 8:30 Mountain, 10:30 Eastern. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Gucci, you got anything else? I am good. I'm going to save my voice.
Nope, that's it. Just trying to keep up with some of the comments here. Somebody mentioned Danny Heatley in a situation where he hurt the goalie and he scores. I've heard nothing, but I've never met him, but I heard nothing but great things about that guy. So imagine we had hit him on one time. That would be sick. But Yep, Neeks, we are live tomorrow with Paul Miss the Net. And yeah, just signing off tonight. Thank you to everybody that comments and stays with us and subscribes and all that bullshit. We enjoyed the game. I want to apologize to my bosses at Fox for the mic issues. Hopefully I can clear those up by tomorrow. And yeah, Swish, I'll let you send it off here.
Yeah, thanks again. Again, Wednesday night and hockey night in Scottsdale, brought to you always by Heat Daddy Merch, Wet Jeans, Butter Golf, and Live in 5 Pod. Folks, one last time tomorrow night, we will tweet it out. We'll have everything fixed. We'll call Larry the cable guy. We'll get the mics dialed in. Paul Biznasty Bissonette will be sitting in the middle of us, right on this very couch, chucking, ducking, fucking Jaeger bombs, whatever. We'll get it going. Loud and proud, low and slow tomorrow. Folks, have a great night. We will see you back tomorrow. Woo!